What's up guys, I'm Greg, and in this video we're going to learn how to create a WordPress website for Indian users. So whether you need to get the word out online about your small family business, maybe you want to get into blogging, or even create an e-commerce online shop and sell products around the globe, watch this start to finish video and I'll show you how to do all of it. The steps to make your first WordPress website, whether you want to do it for a client or make it for your own business, are really simple, and we'll cover it all right here. The first step is to register a domain name. A domain name is your address on the web. Think of it like the address of your flat or home. You want it to be simple, concise, and easy for people to both visit and remember when you tell it in conversation. Once we have our domain name, we're going to register hosting, which is basically a virtual plot of land for your website. Every website needs hosting, and hosting puts the website on the web. After we have hosting, we'll do step 3, which is to get our content live. And to do that, we're going to use WordPress.org, the most famous and most used software on the planet, the same stuff that the likes of Forbes, Jay-Z, Katy Perry, India.com, and more are using. That's right, India.com uses WordPress. How crazy is that? On a personal note, if this relates to you, I was once trapped behind a desk job, nibbling at little snacks to distract myself and filing my sorrows away into a cabinet. Then I discovered my love for WordPress, and the rest was history. So if you're ready to transform yourself into your own WordPress web designer and walk away from this tutorial with a great looking website to call your own, then let's get started. Pop open those computers, grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea, and let's hop into my computer and look at the website that we're going to make. Let's do it. Alright guys, so here we are. I can't believe we're finally here on our WordPress for India website. I'm so excited to help you guys make a website or a blog or an online shop or whatever you want to create. And this website is going to serve as our launch pad, our syllabus for the tutorial, where you can find all the important links and buttons to help you get the right stuff, the right products, and get on your way. What you're going to see when you visit this site is, our logo, WP4 India, maybe a little bigger, and then this nice message. The images might change. Don't be surprised. This is just a bed to symbolize, blogging in the clouds from your dreams, making the website of your dreams. So you're going to see some nice icons, and then the most important button is going to be this gray Get Started Today button. This will help us get our domain name and hosting, which we do in the next step. You need a domain name and hosting to get a WordPress.org website. We're just going to get it in the most affordable and most logical manner that a professional web designer would get for you. Alright guys, so the next step we're going to want to do to get our website going and to get you on the right path for WordPress is just to click this gray button right here. Alright, when you want to get the Divi theme, just come down and make sure to click on this button right here to check out Divi. Alright, and make your purchase if you want to do that. And just make sure that you visit this website as much as you can, WP4India.com, because like I said, this is our launchpad for the tutorial. It'll contain all the most important information to get you on the right path. Alright guys, so I'll see you on the other side. Just remember that with my help and with the help of our amazing community, and I hope you do join in and help out other beginners too once you're further along, then you'll no longer be dreaming about making a website. You'll instead be making the website of your dreams every day. Alright guys, so all you need to do now is bring your mouse over to Get Started Today and click on this big button, and we're going to visit HostGator and set up your website and get this ball rolling once and for all. Alright, let's do it. Alright guys, so here we are at the HostGator India webpage. It's the same great hosting product that I use in America, but just on the Indian servers and potentially even better, faster, stronger. You get the web hosting in the upper left that we're going to go with. You get cloud, WordPress hosting, which we don't need. This is like just more deluxe features that work in WordPress, but you don't need this option and it costs more. Reseller, VPS dedicated. So before we jump in, a lot of people always ask me, is HostGator just a budget web host? Are they just some budget service? And the answer is yes, but that's not a negative factor. HostGator has seriously been investing and doubling down in their quality of customer service, their technology, the uptime guarantee, technical support, all that. And they've been able to do that because they host way more domain names than the other guys. It's something like 9 or 10 million or even more now. So they have the capital to invest in better services, and they can keep the prices low. You're going to get the same WordPress.org site that the major brands use, like Forbes, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Walt Disney, all the big players use, but at a fraction of the cost. And when we make our website in the end, we'll see that there's nothing budget about it. I also like to tell people I've worked with a lot of different web hosts over the years, different, cheap hosts or fancy hosts or whatever. And a lot of the times I wonder why they're so confusing and it takes so long to get to the WordPress installation or find the domain names, for example, on these other hosts like Greenhost or B5 Hosting or Hosting Papa, whatever you want to call them, and those aren't real names. I'm just not going to actually say the names here because I don't want to badmouth them. But in HostGator, I've never had any problems. There's only a few buttons you need to click to get to the WordPress stuff, install WordPress, and then you're good to go. So without further ado, let's see what those few buttons are to get started and to make a website in India. So to start, we can hover on web hosting, and then we're just going to click the Linux shared hosting. So they use fancy words like cPanel, PHP, Apache, and more, but all you need to know is that Linux equals the most basic option for WordPress. Okay, so here we are, and here's Snappy looking pretty cool in his shades. And the first thing we're going to do in the powerful Linux web hosting section is just choose the Indian server location. Alright, so once you select that, you get to harness all the power of those local geo centers. And then we're just going to come down and look at our 4 pillars here. So we have starter, hatchling, baby, and business. And even though they recommend business, I'm going to go ahead and change that for us and say that we recommend starter. Now, why is that? Well, obviously it's the cheapest, and we just want to get WordPress up and running so you can test it out and create your own WordPress website to share with the world. So with starter, what do we get? We get a single domain name, we get storage, we get transfer, we get email accounts, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing to note is that the starter plan lets you host one WordPress website and a single domain name, whereas if you want to run many websites and many domain names, like a website for a family member, or maybe you have multiple businesses you want right now and you want to have like a .com and another .com and a .org, then you're going to want to go with the unlimited domains of the baby plan. However, it's really easy to upgrade. You can just ask a live chat to do that anytime. You just click on their sales chat button and get talking with them. So we don't need to do that for now. We want to keep our budget as low as possible, and that's why we're doing starter. And if you want to splurge a little more, you could get hatchling. That's what I started out with here on the American servers, and that's nice because it has unlimited disk space. But chances are you're not going to come close to using all your disk space right away. So 10 gigs is pretty good. Alright, so let's proceed and let's choose our starter plan and get cracking. We just click buy now on starter, and then we get prompted to select our domain name for our hosting plan. Alright. And if you have one already, like if you already bought one from GoDaddy, for example, that's just fine. You just click yes and write it in the next stage. But for now, we want to start a totally fresh website, so we're going to get a domain name from HostGator. We're just going to click no. We don't have a domain name, and we'll get to enter in our new domain name idea after we click this. Alright, so let's do so. And our domain name for this tutorial is just yourkindoflove.com, because your website should be your kind of love. It should be something that you love forever. And we can choose the different extensions here, lots of options. Alright, so we're just going to stick with .com if we can, because it's the most valuable. If you ever want to sell your website someday, you're going to want to have the .com to get the most dollars for your hard work. Alright, and we're going to uncheck the other stuff because we're on a budget, and click continue. Alright, now you'll be taken to the domain selection screen. We just need to confirm that we're going to add to cart our domain name at the top right here. Alright, it's available, thankfully, and we'll just click on this green cart right there. Alright, and if you didn't get the domain name you want, if it's not available, just go ahead and search and try again. And let me know in the comments if you need any tips on how to pick that right domain name, because I have a couple formulas that could be handy. And we'll check out now. Okie dokie, so here we are in our HostGator order summary. And now it's really important just to get the terms right, the duration, that is, duration, term, same thing. And so I always like getting the domain name for 1 year because that's the lowest possible option, and we don't get a discount for getting the domain name for any longer. All right, and that's cool. And then we're going to get the privacy protect option, which is your contact information by enabling privacy protect. Now, that just means that when people look at your domain name, that they won't be able to see your private information like your name and your phone number and stuff. So if you are worried about that, then you can pay for this. I generally trust people. I think people are pretty honest and I'm not too worried. So I'd rather just keep that money in my pocket. So I'm going to trash that. Okay, perfect. And then next we have the single domain name Linux hosting. That's the hosting we need. And that's exactly what we want. All right, so our domain name is our address on the web. Our hosting is like a plot of land. Combined, these two things are a match made in heaven, and they're the perfect foundation for a new website. All right, but we don't know if we want our website for 5 years. We might just want it for 1 year or 1 month, for example. So just to explain the numbers and the pricing you'll see here for you, if you choose 5 years, that's going to be 299 rupees times 12 times 5. All right, so 12 months, 5 years, and that number will get you to the 17,940 number. All right, but we're gonna have a discount option below, which is gonna drop it to whatever number you see right here, which is not crossed out. All right, so now we need to maximize our discount. So at 5 years, we get 50% off shared and WordPress hosting. We're just getting shared hosting, so that discount applies. But what if we choose the 1 year duration? And what happens then as far as our discount? So if we do that option, then we're gonna see that the coupon, which says up to 50% off on shared and WordPress hosting, is actually only worth 20% because the original price is 3,588 rupees and the new price becomes 2,878.4 rupees. All right, and if you do the math on that, you can see that the total that we'd pay, the 2,870.4 divided by 3,588 is going to be exactly 80%, which means that we would get 20% off for the 1 year duration instead of 50% off for the 5 year duration. So it is totally up to you. If you're the kind of person that likes getting a discount no matter what, then the 1 year option I think is going to feel good. But if you want to just spend the least amount of money possible today, then you can go with the lesser months, like 1 month. That's perfectly satisfactory. We can try out WordPress. I think you'll love it, and that's in fact the plan that we're going to go with today. All right, now we're just going to click continue. And now it's time to just create an account. All right, so it's going to ask us if we have one, but we don't. So we're just going to want to click create an account. All right, this part's super easy. Just go ahead and pop in your full name and your address here. All right, we're going to pop in our state and get this done quickly. All right, guys, and I might have to blur out my phone number and this other information here just so everyone doesn't call me about the secrets to blogging success or something like that. That's what those YouTube comments are for. So we're just going to check that box and come down and click some user information in here, just like you would anywhere else online. And now just check this box and we're going to create an account. Okay, great. We got the check mark for 1, done. Check mark for 2, done. And now it's time to go to payment options number 3. So we're going to choose how to pay for our new account. You can see HostGator is very accommodating. They want you to host in India and they try to give you the most convenient options of anywhere online so that you can get this done, well, easily wherever you do your banking. So I very much like the PayPal Express checkout and I'm going to try that option. All right, but up to you. And we're just going to click agree. Boom. So by the way, if you had a credit card, you could do this option number 2, which is net banking, debit card, credit card. Very cool. And now we're just going to click pay now and make our order. So now let's log in to our PayPal. We hope we have some money left. Okay, so the merchant here says that they've translated the cost into dollars. It's very nice of them. And we're going to pay it with our PayPal balance. But in fact, I'm realizing now that this option would work great too for the Visa credit card or your debit account, whichever is good. You have those options here too. But I've got a little bit of cash from WordPress theme sales lying around in my PayPal, so might as well use that, otherwise I'll forget about it. So we're just going to click Pay Now. Okay, got the notification. Beautiful, congratulations. It says thank you, your payment was successful. And when you see this screen, it means it's time to check your email. Okay, so here we are in my inbox, and if you just registered hosting, you might get a lot of emails like this. We're going to skip these guest post inquiries at the top, and we're going to see that we have all these emails from HostGator. Depending on how you got set up, you might have different emails. But either way, you want answers, and you probably just want to install WordPress. So that's our main goal right now. So let's look at the emails we need to look at, and the other ones we can just avoid. All right, so we're going to start at the bottom. We have our customer sign up email. We can click that one. And right away, they want us to verify email address. All right. So that's pretty easy. We can just click on the verify email address button. All right, verified, successful, thank you. And then at the very top of the list of HostGator emails, you're going to see an email from hostgator.in sales, and it'll say completed. So let's click on that completed option with the addition of single domain name. And now if you get the red headers and the links, then you know you're in the right place. So in order to access our website, we need to follow these steps. It says your website is accessible immediately through the temporary URL. That's fine. We don't want to do that though. What we want to do is actually manage your website. We want to go to this lower section, and we want to click on the URL here. The third one, so there's a URL with the IP, there's a URL with the cPanel link, and a URL with the long link, and they apparently do the same thing. We're going to click on the longer one though. Alright, and so this will take us to our cPanel. So for now we want to be in cPanel, and that's because they've given us a nice username and a password that we can use to proceed. So let's go ahead and copy the password. Just highlight it and copy. And I can remember the username, which is your kick1 without the 1. Yours might be different. Sometimes they set up a different trendy username. And I'll paste in the password. And the beauty is now we can log into cPanel, which is how professional web designers will install WordPress for you. Okay, at the top is a attention message that we can disregard, because right now we want to proceed as quick as possible and install WordPress onto your domain and hosting. So what do we need to do now? What we need to do is come down, and we're going to click on in the Softalicious apps installer section. This is how all the pros do it in India. It's how everyone installs their WordPress, Joomla, Abenticart, PrestaShop, Joomla, other Joomla, whatever you want to do. There are so many CMSs you can install with just a click of a button. But for now, we want to install the number one option on the far left side, which is WordPress. So just click on WordPress. Okay, so now on the WordPress screen, you can read some details about what WordPress is, but right now we're sure we want to use it. All right, and there's a lot of buttons you might click, but the easiest option to install the entire version of WordPress.org is just to click on the drop-down arrow up here and click Quick Install. So let's do it. Now on this screen, you're going to see Software Setup. So the steps you need to do are pretty simple, but you can get a little confused if you don't know what to do, so I'll walk you through all of them, of course. Just make sure you have your domain name selected here and not this funky longer domain name. Next, in the directory box, you want to delete what's here. Any words that are here, just get rid of them and make sure this is completely blank. That makes sure that WordPress is installed on your domain name and not on some longer version of your domain name, which would make it harder for people to find. Alright, so once you've deleted that box, come down to your admin account, and admin username should just be whatever you want. We can change that from admin to, usually just first name is good, or maybe you have some online alias. This is what WordPress will show as like blog post by this person or page created by this person. So make it professional, don't make it your old AOL Instant Messenger. And admin password. Alright, so we can change that as well. Alright, and don't steal my password, but that's just what I'm going to go with now so that we can all remember it for this tutorial. Alright, last but not least, in admin email, just pop in your email of choice because you want the WordPress login details emailed there and all the important information so you can save it. Then where it says select plugins, this is just an option to auto install this one plugin, but we don't really want it. So we're all done on this screen. I am just going to copy our email address and put it in the lower box too so that the installation details definitely get emailed to us. And once your screen looks like mine, except for with your information in there, should be good to go. Just come down and click on the blue install button, and this is where you have to know all sorts of code, PHP, Java, HTML, syntax, Python. Just kidding, you don't need to know any code because we're doing the famous one-click installation. Alright, if you're ready, let's do it. Alright, my friends, congratulations, the software was installed successfully. And what do we do now? Well, we could tweet about it, but instead we just want to do a quick view of your WordPress site and see if we can actually use it or if we need to wait a little bit longer for your files to settle into place. That's pretty common as well. So what we can do is just open a new browser tab and we can check out the site. Alright, and it might say under construction. That's totally normal. However, after I just deleted my browser cache there, we got to view our site. And I did that using the browser cache extension from Chrome. Show you which one it is. It's just called Clear Cache Shortcut, added to Google Chrome web browser. You can clear your cache in any browser though, like Internet Explorer, Opera, Firefox. They all have that feature. Just go to your settings. It's an important step for sure in web developing because it makes sure that you're seeing the most current version of what we're working on. And in this case, it's just a totally fresh version of our new WordPress website. If you successfully deleted your browser cache, or I guess cache as some people like calling it, but it doesn't work, then drop me a comment below and I'll help you figure it out. Also, if you bought your domain name somewhere else at a different registrar online, you're going to need to do one additional step. That would be managing your name servers. To do that, just come back to your email and it's going to say up above that section we were just in, it's going to say accessing your website. Alright, and then below it, it's going to say changing your name servers. And then you're going to see using your own DNS service, which will apply to you only if you bought your domain name somewhere other than HostGator, like at GoDaddy, Namecheap, iPage, or a different registrar. If that's your case, click on this link and follow the steps to go ahead and enter in your HostGator name servers at your different domain name registrar, and then go ahead and save them to successfully connect your domain name to your hosting. Again, let me know any questions down below in the comments, please. It would be my pleasure to help out, and I don't want anyone to get stuck. Okay, for now we can see our website here, so why don't we go ahead and continue along with the tutorial. Back on our Softaculous email, we can see instructions to log in with the link provided. But just for good old-fashioned sake, let's type it in ourselves. So we want to visit yourdomainname.com or .net or .org, whatever you got, /wp-admin to log in and hit enter. Beautiful. Welcome to the WordPress login screen that everyone from Forbes, Jay-Z, Katy Perry, Beyonce, Time Magazine, everyone sees to log in, even though they might have a custom WordPress login screen, which you can make later. Then we're going to go back to our email, and by now, hopefully WordPress has sent us our login instructions. Alright, so if they haven't, you might need to just check the spam. And here we can see in our spam folder from Softaculous, the new installation of WordPress. So it might get trapped in there. Make sure to check your spam, guys. And right away we can see we have a new WordPress installation, a link, and a password. Okay, and I just wanted to show you that you got this email, even though our password is start out here. We remember it because we just created that new password, 1Password, when we installed WordPress. We're just gonna get this out of the spam folder. And now we can go back to our login screen and just pop in our username and our password that we created when we installed WordPress. If you forgot that password, by the way, you can go to your Softaculous again, this screen. Just click on Softaculous in the upper left. Give them your password one more time if your token expired. Then you can just click on your installation section. We can see we have 2 of them. You'll probably just have 1 though. And under the proper installation right here, which is just your domain name, you can come on over to the right and click on the edit pencil. And then from this screen you can scroll down and give yourself a new admin password right here. And then you would just save installation details, and then you should be good to go. For now, let's just log in with the information we have here. And if you'd like, you can have WordPress remember you and log in. Alright, so a very warm and hearty welcome to WordPress for your first time. When you log in, you'll be taken to your dashboard, as it's called through all of WordPress. And we can just dismiss some notifications. So you're not going to see a whole lot here, but what we are looking at is the back end of your site. And if you click in the upper left where you see the home icon and your site title, then it'll take you to the front end of your new WordPress blog or site. So this is how the world sees it. This is how you can look at the stuff you made and see if it worked and everything like that. And then you can click in the upper left again to go back to your dashboard. Some of these links are a little bit redundant, like if you click on home, it'll take you to your dashboard, and if you click on dashboard, it'll also take you to your dashboard. And if you're on the front end and you hover up and you click dashboard, it's the same as just clicking on the site title right here itself. So that's how to get from the front end to the back end. We can now do a quick tour of WordPress. So if you click on posts, you can see WordPress gave you a demo blog post. We can open it up and see that it's just some content that the WordPress team wrote for us. Pretty nice. You can edit it or delete it. And if we click posts again, we can go back to that list of posts. So why don't we trash the sample post? Thanks anyways WordPress for making it, and click add new. And now we can really easily create just a welcome to the blog post, which I think users like seeing. Lets them know that you're thinking of them and that you're going to give them a little hello message along with details as to what they can expect when they visit your blog. Alright, so now you know how to make a blog post in WordPress. If you want to add an image to your WordPress blog post, just put your cursor wherever you want the image to go. For example, at the top of the post, and hit enter to give yourself a space for the image. Now just click add media, and in the upload files tab, we can upload some stuff from your computer. Just click select files. Alright, then we can search for the image we want. And I had one of my buddies make this nice cartoon couch picture. I'm gonna open it up. And there's our image. Now we just need to choose how it aligns. So none will make it float on top of the text, or you can choose left or right to have the text wrap around it like a newspaper. You can choose how it links. None's good. And then the size. I always like going with the full size image, and then insert into post. Alright, we can also click on our image and drag on the right in those white boxes and just size it down a little. Alright, super cool. The last thing our blog post needs before we publish is a category. So on the lower right over here, just click add new category. And that way you can start to organize your posts based on the keywords that they're about. So this one is just a welcome, or maybe better would be updates. And then we click add new category. And now let's try and publish. Alright, cool. So now when you check out your blog using the button in the upper left, you scroll down, you should see our first post here, replacing that default WordPress post. And we can click and open it. And here we are. Alright, so this is us. People can comment. Really cool. Your first blog post is now live for the world. Great job. Now continuing along with our tour, let's click back to the dashboard and let's check out pages. So if we click on pages, and by the way, the photo just goes in media. That's what media is. It's all sorts of photos and PDFs and videos you upload to WordPress. But like I said, let's go to pages, and we can see that we have some sample pages from WordPress already. We're just going to delete the sample page, and we're going to check out the privacy policy to see what that says. So that's pretty cool. This is from WordPress and HostGator, and that'll just help you be super transparent with your users. We can keep that one for now because it just saves us time later. Big thanks to HostGator for setting that up for us, and now you can have your lawyers, or if you're your own lawyer, that's great. Just read this, and whenever you're ready, just publish it on your site or add to it, and so on. All right, so let's add a page that's a little more fun though, like an about page. Just click Add New. Super easy. We're just gonna say About Us, and then here you could put like images or videos, whatever. I'm just gonna show you how to insert a video. You can just go to YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you get your videos from. And so I can click on like this video, the newest one. And now you get to hear me inside of a video. To share a video, you just want to click on Share on YouTube. And then you can come down, and in the Share Link section, I like going with Embed. Just click Embed. And then click on the iframe in the right over here. One click should do it. It'll highlight the iframe, and now just right click, copy it. And when you come back to your post, you can click on your text tab, which is where you put any code from sites like Facebook or Google, or if you want to try writing your own code, you can go here. But visual is just where the words go, like Microsoft Word. Because it's an iframe code, it has to go in the text tab. Just right click and paste. Cool, and now we can just click publish. So really simple page, and we're going to make some more edits to the about page after we install our new theme. Additional fun fact is when you paste in iframes from YouTube, you're giving that video a little bit of SEO juice from your site. So it's kind of like a vote saying that that's a good video, and it might help that video rank a little bit better in YouTube search. Okay, let's come down now, and we're going to skip comments because I don't think we have any yet. It's kind of lonely. We're going to do appearance later when we install our theme. And for now, I just want us to click on plugins. What we're going to do here is just make sure we all have the same plugins installed so that we're all literally on the same page and have a blank slate to make our website. So our WordPress in this case came with 2 plugins, and if you see different ones, I want you to just delete them for now. There's no harm deleting a plugin, especially if it is a free WordPress plugin, because you can always just install it later on with no harm done by clicking the Add New button at the top. So for now, I'm just going to activate Akismet. That's the free spam protector from WordPress, which will make life a lot easier for you when you start getting comments to make sure they're real comments. And we're going to activate Hello Dolly. Hello Dolly is just a cute plugin by the founder of WordPress, Matt Mullenweg. Thanks a lot, Matt, for all you've done. And this one just gives us this cute quote up here from one of Matt's favorite songs. All right, so I always like having that there. You don't have to, though, if you don't want. All right, very good. So if you have these 2 plugins, you're all set. Let me know any questions you have about other plugins. You might see that different versions of WordPress or different hosts even would have put in there for you, and I can tell you if you need them or not. We'll be getting more plugins later. Next, we can click on users, and here you should just see yourself, and that's just my Gravatar because I put in the email, and WordPress is connected with this software called Gravatar, which just pulls in your image. So this would be where you could also change your password. Click on your name, bada bing, bada boom, generate password. Right over here for a new one. I don't want to do that now though because I like my password. And you can also change the screen complexion at the top. All right, pretty cool. I think default is good enough for us though. Now we can scroll down, and we're going to skip tools, although this is where you would import a version of WordPress if you came from WordPress.com, for example. And we're just going to click on settings. All right, leave here. In settings, you can change your site title. All right, so if we look at our site, this is our site title, and right below it is our site tagline. So we can easily change that to Your Kind of Love, and we can change that to Because It Should Be, shouldn't it? Or whatever you want to say. Next, in the section called WordPress address and site address, you can add a www if you want. Just make 110% sure that you add the www to both of these sections and they look exactly the same if you want to make any changes. If not, then the www will just redirect to this one and that's how I want to keep it. Scrolling down, we have some other basic settings like how the date displays. Make sure that this box is unchecked unless you do want to create a membership website. And just click Save Changes. And when we refresh, we can see we've changed our site title and tagline. Good job. Now we'll just do one more step in our tour because I know everyone's excited to start building, and that would be to click on Permalinks. This section is actually really important. You just need to choose post name and then save changes. And what this will accomplish for you is it'll make all of your links simple and Google friendly. As we can see with the post name setting, there's just a / and then some keywords after each of your links, as opposed to having a date, which can basically say that your page or your post is old as time goes on, or something even funkier like a question mark or in archives. You don't want any of that. You just want the keywords. It's great for having Google friendly links. So that's what it does, and let's just save changes. Alright guys, and one more super quick but super important part of our tour that I want to show you, and that's how to add a menu to your WordPress blog. So that'll help you find your pages, and to get a menu going, you just need to hover on Appearance and click Menus. So if you take a look at your site and you don't see any menu tabs or buttons beneath the header, that's because we're using the WordPress 2017 theme, and you need to actually create a menu to get little buttons to show up here, for example where my mouse is spinning. If you have a different theme attached to your site, then maybe there are some menu tabs here, but in any case it's always a good idea to create a custom menu for your WordPress blog or website. And by the way, I'll use those terms interchangeably, like blog, site, or website, because they're essentially the same thing in WordPress. So hop back over to menus and just give it a name like main menu and click create menu. Next, all you need to do is choose from your pages on the left by checkboxing them and clicking add to menu. And it'll come in where our menu is going to be created right here. So we just have the About Us page, that's perfect, but we also have another page which is our home page. And to get the home page in here, you want to click Custom Links, alright, and then just copy paste your domain name. So in menus, just come over to this URL box, delete the HTTP section, and just pop in your domain name. Alright, looks good, and we can give it a link text of home and add to menu. We can rearrange our menu items just by clicking on them and holding and dragging. And you can also create a drop down if you want by indenting them, but that wouldn't make sense right now. Next, give that menu a display location, top menu should do, and click Save Menu. And when we refresh our site now, we should see we have our own custom menu where new pages will fill in if you add them to the menu. Great job. Alright guys, that does it for our tour. I hope it feels good now knowing how to make some basic changes and edits to how your WordPress blog or website looks. And if it feels good to do that, it's going to feel really good to start building in the next section where we go ahead and change our entire look. Alright guys and gals, so at this point you can either build a website with a free theme or build a website with the Divi theme. If you stay right here and you continue along with this video, we're going to learn how to build a WordPress website with the Divi theme. But if you want to go the free theme route, we're going to use the amazing Elementor free WordPress themes. It's one of the hottest themes on the block at the moment. You just have to open the Learn More box below the video and click on the link that says Build a Website with the Free Theme and proceed along that path. You're going to get an amazing website. It will be about 80 to 85% of the website that we're going to make if you stay with this video, but it will be a perfectly good business, corporate website with a blog, and it will work for almost any business you want, including e-commerce. It will do everything in terms of selling a product, and I think you'll love it. Alright, so make sure to open the Learn More box and click on Build a Website with a Free Theme if you want to go that route. Otherwise, just stay right here and we're going to use the premium Divi theme to make your website. Okay guys, so here we are on our site, and I just finished making that free version of the website for everyone else. So now I had to hop over to a new domain of mine, which is wherelovewaslost.com. Okay, so we're on this new clean version of the website right now. I think it's even cooler. Just make sure that if you want to compare what you're making now to what we made in the video, that you visit this domain name up here that I've highlighted, wherelovewaslost.com. Okay, so let's do it. We're on our site. We got to get Divi though. So we're going to open a new tab and just look up elegantthemes.com. And they are the founders of Divi. Alright, here we are. So you can read all about Divi if you want and see who's using it. It's a lot of cool people. But we just want to click join to download and actually try it out. So the cost of Divi is a bit more than your average premium WordPress theme if you've shopped around. They can range from maybe $30 to $60 on Theme Forest, but I didn't want to skimp at all on this website. I know that, like, especially with my Indian family, when we're getting anything, we want to get the best, whether it's a seat at the dinner restaurant or a shirt and tie for a job interview or a wedding. We want to get the best, and that's why I want to introduce you to Divi. It's also going to be talked about a lot in the future, and when you hear the TV commercials and all about it, then you'll be happy that you are actually using it and you know what it's all about. So we are obviously just going to get the more affordable version, the $89 one, and not the $249. I did work with a company recently that paid for me to get the $249 lifetime access, which was great because then they get lifetime updates on their site, and then they also get, all the other good stuff, which is pretty much the same. Lifetime support would be different, but this option is good, and you can just pay it once, and then you get the theme, and then you don't have to keep paying per year. You'll get the theme, you'll get the plugins, you just won't get updates after that 1 year. Either way, I want you to pay less money upfront today. So let's click sign up today and just drop in this basic info here and you'll be on your way. Okay, close. And then we're going to proceed with Visa or PayPal. So I think a lot of people might like the PayPal, but also this will accept Indian credit cards of all varieties, as well as debit cards and bank transfers and all that. So pretty cool. And also PayPal has that option to do the debit card, credit card. So either way, you should be covered. So we'll just click complete registration now. Next, just type in your card number and go ahead and put in the expiration date and the CVC number. And I'd leave this unchecked, just so you don't get charged in the future. That way that you can choose if you want to pay that yearly cost in year 2. Or better off, you could just pay $89 and that's it. So with that said, let's now just click the blue pay button and start building. After you click the blue button, guys, you'll be brought to the most important screen at Elegant Themes in your little website portal, which is just where you can download everything Divi. So what I want you to do now is just download the Divi theme. You can just click once to download and then save it. And then while you're at it, just go ahead and download all the other features you see right here, because we're assuming that we're just going to go for the one-time payment plan. Alright, download Divi Builder, save it, download Bloom, we already got Extra, and we already got Divi the theme, and lastly, let's download Monarch. I really, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure what Monarch is, but we're going to use Divi Builder and Divi, and we know that we might want to use those other ones in the future. Maybe you become a web designer and you have clients and they want those. So now we have them all. If we click view all downloads, then it'll just take us to a different sort of screen, which actually shows you more options, Photoshop files, all this stuff. But you get it now, you can try it out, and I'm sure this is a lot of valuable stuff in there. Probably stuff to make your website look really professional and premium. I just don't want to be sitting here with gray hairs, literally missing my own wedding, so that we can try out all these tools. But now you have them, and let me know what you find. Should be fun. Okay guys, so now that you've downloaded Divi Builder and Divi, we can just go back to our site and we can change the entire look of our website, because we don't want to use the 2017 theme, even though it looks kind of good. We want our website to look really good and, more importantly, unique, because so many other default websites use this 2017 theme. So let's change it up right now. Let's go back to our dashboard by clicking the upper left. And now let's hover on Appearance and click Themes. click Add New. So let's click Upload Theme and let's choose File. And now let's find the folder, which is my terabyte hard drive, 3 TB. And we're going to choose Divi right here. So yours will just say Divi without the 1, but mine will just say 1 and it doesn't matter because I've already used it. And now once you upload it, just activate it. Alright, very good guys. So now if you check out our site by clicking the upper left, you'll see that it's wearing a new theme. So it's marked by the Divi logo in the upper left. And now it's time to install that page builder. Just go back to our dashboard. Now let's click Plugins, Add New, Upload Plugin, choose File, and grab the Divi Builder. See, I just double clicked it there, then I'm clicking Install Now. I think I forgot to say Install Now on the theme, sorry about that. You always got to click Install Now right here, otherwise it won't do anything. And now click Activate. And so now you have all the tools to build a super powerful premium website with Divi. Very high-end tool, basically the hottest WordPress theme on the planet. At least they tell us it is. And, you know, I'm starting to believe it. Alright, so let's learn how to use Divi. Okay, so we're going to actually close the Elegant Themes window, and they also sent us, oh, I reset my password right there, but they also will send you a Elegant Themes order receipt, which you can write off for your taxes this year if you blog for a living or make websites for a living or do anything with web design or WordPress for a living. That's a tax write-off, so in my case the cost would only be 2/3 of that roughly, but again, this was for the corporate project I'm working on, so your costs will be cheaper. Alright, and we're going to close the members area and we're just going to focus on building. So let's go back to our dashboard and let's keep one window open here with our site and one window open with our site on the front end. Alright, the first thing I want you to do is just go to Pages. Okay, so let's delete the WP Forms page. We don't need that one, just came with our site. And let's delete the sample page, just came with WordPress. And now the most important thing to do is just to set up the 4 pages that will compose our website. So let's click Add New at the top. We obviously already made the About Us page when we were doing our website tour just to see how to make a page. But we actually also need to make a home page. And I generally like calling it front page because that's just the most descriptive term. Home, sometimes you could put the home page anywhere. Front page, you know, is at the very front of your website. Alright, so we're going to make the front page and we're just going to click Publish. No changes, just click Publish. Now we're going to click Add New again at the top. And we're going to make a page called Contact and just publish it. And Add New one more time. And we're going to make a page called Blog. And publish. Alright, so next I want you to go and hover on Settings and click Reading. And we're going to set up the front page and the blog page structure. Just click on a static page instead of your latest post. And for home page, choose front page. And that just assigns this page that we're calling front page as the home page of our website. So that works perfectly. And then we're going to assign the post page to blog. So anything that goes on the blog page will be blog posts. Anything that goes on the front page will actually be the home page of our site, which pretty much sounds extremely confusing the more you talk about it. So just do that and then click Save Changes and it'll all make sense. Basically what we did is if you go to your .com, just your website.com or .net or .org or whatever, without anything else on it, just the .com, then you're going to see, when we refresh it, this page called Front Page, which is perfect. That's how web designers do it. And now we can add content to this page and it'll show up on the home page of your site. And also we made a page called Blog where any articles you write will just fill in on that page called Blog. Let's put all of our pages in one clickable area on our site, which is our navigation menu. To create a navigation menu, hover on your site title up here and just click Menus. Alright, now we already made a menu in our site tour, so we just need to add Contact and Blog and click Add to Menu. We're going to put blog at the end, just standard structure, and click save. And now when we click back to our site, we have a perfect looking navigation menu. Next, it's time to upload the demo images for our India website. So we can just do that by clicking beneath the video. This is just an example. I'm just going to click show more, and what you're going to see below your video is a download images link. So just click on that, and it's going to give you a save option. Now just save it. It'll save to your local computer. So now you just want to unzip that images file by opening it up. So if you see it in your lower left in your browser downloads, you can click it there, but you might need to go to your Finder or your search on the computer and actually find where it downloaded. Alright, so here's ours, and just double click to open. And you're going to get this nice folder with all the cool images inside of it. You can preview them if you want, and I've just picked out an assortment which I hope you'll like. Alright, there's a lot of different images to choose from, and you can see where I found most of them, which is at pixabay.com. Okay, so to use your images, go back to the website. Now let's go back to our dashboard screen and click Media. This is where all your photos, images, banner ads, PDFs, etc. will be stored. And just click Add New. Now click Select Files. Double click on the folder to open it, and I'm just going to click and drag over all the images, and now click Open. And WordPress will do a bulk import for you. Alright, with our images uploaded, it is now time to test out building our first page with Divi and see if building a website really is like creating a masterpiece. Let's click on Pages, and now let's click on our front page, and let's go ahead and design the front of your website. So obviously the first thing we want to do is get out of the standard WordPress editor where everyone else edits and click Use the Divi Builder instead. Alright, so this is definitely an improvement, but we want to use the best possible editor, which is the Visual Builder. So click Use Visual Builder. Alright, and here's your front page in Visual Builder. You can take the tour from this nice looking man right here with long hair. I have nothing against long hair, by the way. I wish I could grow my hair out like that. And this actually is useful stuff. This says that basically building beautiful pages is a breeze. To get started, you can add a new section by clicking the blue plus. You can add a new row by clicking the green plus. You can add modules by clicking the black plus. And you can change the settings of any element by pressing the gear. So we're going to be clicking plus a lot and gear a lot, but it's important to know that a section is like an entire piece of the website from left to right. A row goes within those sections, and a module goes within a row. So biggest, medium, small, and then settings apply to all of them. Everything has its own settings. Let's click Start Building. And let's click Start Building in the Build from Scratch option. Okay guys, so now it's time to create our hero image, which will be a massive image at the top of the homepage with some text and subtext and a call to action button. Now we're going to actually use one of the help articles at Divi to get this accomplished. If you go to elegantthemes.com/blog/Divi Resources, which I'll of course link you in the notes, they have all these really cool how-to articles and show you how to do things that maybe your imagination could have thought of. Maybe you were stuck on, maybe you had no idea you could do with Divi. Things like using a video background, little nuggets like where to get video backgrounds, like this site cover. So you can use this article and refer to it from the notes below, or you can just follow along with me and I'll show you how to do all of it right now to make it look good. So the insert row message is the first prompt you'll see, and I want us to go with the large green row with no breaks in it, no separate columns, just the big one. Next, all you need to do is just X out, and we're going to add some content in a moment. I wanted to show you that just by inserting that row, you have this green area, which is a row, inside of this blue area, which is a section. The difference between our blue row and our green section is important because in a lot of situations, you'll want to set a background image on the section and then put some content like text, more text, a button, and so on inside the row. That way you can get the full screen settings of the section and then move things within the row around on top of it. This lets us manipulate the section so it has full width settings, like a huge full width image, and then lets us manipulate the row so that we can move content around inside the row, look to the left or the right, while the background, which is the section, will stay the same. Okay, so I want you to click on the gear on our blue section now, and then click background, and we'll see we have the option for a background. By default, it'll ask you if you want to choose a background color, but instead we want to move this background setting over to the right to the second one from the right, which is image. Now just click add a background image. And we can choose one of the images we just uploaded a moment ago from our website images folder. Just click on the image to select it, and then I know that I actually want to remove a little bit of the rocks in this image. So what I'm going to do is click edit image. You don't need to use Photoshop or any sort of those techie skills. You can do it all in WordPress. Just click on top of your image and drag the right portion that you want your users to see. So I'm going to get rid of some of those unnecessary rocks at the bottom and just click crop right here. Now let's save our image and update it. Okay, so no need for Photoshop, we just edited and cropped our image. Now let's go back to our site, and it's not going to know that we just changed that image right here. And because we changed an image dimension, we actually have to refresh the page. So let's click out of here and then just save your background with the image setting chosen. And then down at the very bottom, you're going to see the most important button ever, which is the purple button. So just click on that. It'll give you all these different options, but what we want to do now is just save. Okay, so we've saved our row inside of a section. We haven't really made much, but the structure of our page is coming together, so great job. After you make sure to save, I just want you to refresh the page. If you made a change on your images, if you didn't, then you can go ahead and just put in the right image. Oops, and it wants us to set up that row again, so I guess a little more practice won't hurt. Just choose the big row, and then X out of here, and now we have our row inside of our section. Perfect. So now we can put up that background image. Let's click on the blue gear, background, change the background type to image right here, just third one from the left or second one from the right, whichever way you want to look at it. Now click add background image, and the image we edited looks perfect. Just click to select. Now in attachment display settings, you'll normally change this if you insert an image into a blog post or a page. We don't need to toy with these settings much now. Just keep it on none, none, and full size. And upload an image. Alright, congrats guys, you've inserted your first image, and sorry about that step where we had to reinsert the row inside the section. We can make mistakes together. That's definitely a part of WordPress. So glad we're all comfortable together and we can just keep building. Of course, let me know any questions so far, but right now we should just have a section with the row inside of it, and the section, the blue area with the blue gear, is the one that has the background image on it. Now let's modify our image a little bit. Just scroll down in the same section settings window, and for background image size, choose cover. For background image position, we're going to alter it to top left, and for background image blend, go ahead and make that multiply. Perfect. And now for background image repeat, just keep no repeat. And click the green check mark. We're done for now. Next, we're going to work on our row. So click on the green gear for the row settings. And now the first thing we want to set up is just a little padding. So click design, and then click spacing, and throw in some custom padding of just 10%. If it says pixels like that and you put percent in, it'll jump to percent. You don't need to know exactly what this padding does now, but obviously it just shifted the image downwards a little bit. And as you become a pro with margin, padding, custom padding, and so on and so forth, you'll become really skillful at moving things around on your website. Alright guys, now it's finally time to drop in our text on top of the hero image. So click on the gray plus sign, which of course means add new module. And scroll down to where you see the text button and click it. Now I usually like writing in my text headline and then moving it around, because if you choose the design and move this first, then you just get to look at all this text for too long and it can be confusing. So let's just delete what's in there by default and write in our website tagline, which for this tutorial is just your website, your love. Perfect. But of course, customize your slogan to your liking. Okay, now let's just click design at the top, and we're going to figure out the spacing. So click spacing, and we're gonna give this a custom margin of 25% up top, and on the right, just -12%. And we can already see that that 25% will push the text down the screen, stretching out the image, and push the text inwards. That's that -12% pushing it away from the right by 12%. We just can't see it because the text settings is on top of it. Alright, now let's close the spacing dropdown and open up the text dropdown. And let's go ahead and change up how the text looks. So we're going to make our text font a really cool font I know of called Lobster. And I already tried using it, so it's sitting in our little palette right here. But you can just search for any font you might like. Lobster 1, Lobster 2. Maybe you search for something like Times, and you can just find it through the search window. Let's choose Lobster, and then let's scroll down and make our text color white. We're going to make our text size a lot larger. Let's go with 80, and if you don't write in a percentage or anything, it'll understand that you want pixels by default. Alright, there's our text. Now let's scroll down even further and orient the text to the right. Cool. And we'll keep the default settings of 1.7 EMs for line height and letter spacing of 0 pixels. And just save it. Next, we're going to add another text module, which will be the smaller subheading text beneath this larger text. So we can find our gray plus icon. There it is. Add new module. Scroll down, choose text. Alright, and write out whatever you want your subheading to be. Very cool. Now let's click design. Open up the spacing dropdown. And we're going to give this subheading a spacing of 4% custom margin on the top, and on the right that same -12. Not 132, -12%. Okay, -12% margin. Alright, we can close spacing and we can open up the text drop down now. And we're just going to change the font to Montserrat, another beautiful one. Change the text color to white. And scroll down, and we're going to orient the text to the right. And we're going to up the text size to something more like 18 pixels. Alright, you did it, guys. Now let's just save with our green check mark. And we're starting to look good. The final piece of our hero image is just a button. We can add that in the same fashion as the text. Just click the plus for add a new module, and make sure you're clicking that gray plus beneath the subheading text we just made. If you click a different gray plus, it might put that button in between the text, and then you just have to do an extra step of moving it. So click to add a module, click button. Let's change up that button text from the default click here to learn more. Now head over to design and open alignment and choose right. Now let's open spacing and give that button our typical right custom margin of -12% so it lines up with our text. Beautiful. And while we're at it, we can drop in some bottom margin of 6%, and that'll make the image cover the entire screen. Beautiful. Let's close spacing and let's go to your button styles. Open up button styles and choose yes. We want to use custom styles for our button, of course. And so here comes the important button styling features that could actually get your button more clicks or less clicks. And you're going to have to play around with different colors and text, by the way. Now it's my desire to use a bright golden color for the button color, which I think over time will get us more clicks. But what's the perfect gold? Well, we have these nice little lights on top of our C-Link, and to get that exact color of them and use it on the button would make sense because they're already looking at these colors. They can go ahead and look at them again on the button, and everything will look more familiar. So I want you to use an old school web designer technique and just screenshot part of the screen. Now I hit Command-Shift-4 on my Mac to make my mouse turn into a crosshairs, and I'm going to actually just select one of the golden lights and let go. On your computer it might be a print screen or Command-Shift-3, but that's a great skill that you're going to want to have, so make sure to look that up. Once you have your screenshot, follow me to Picmonkey.com, my editing suite of choice for all sorts of graphic design. It's way easier than Photoshop and a lot cheaper. And of course I'll give you a link to Picmonkey's free trial in the comments below. This is something I use almost every day when I make a website, and it really pays for itself because you can just create endless beauty in terms of logos, images, small styling, big styling, advertisement banners for companies, you name it. Okay, so we just want to click open new and grab our computer option, and it's going to search our computer, and I like putting screenshots on the desktop, desktop, most recent screenshot. Now just click the T for text, and it should put some text on our sidebar. So click add text. And we don't actually want to write any text, we just want to use the eyedropper tool on the right in this right hand bar. So click there and you'll get the eyedropper, and now we can just drag on top of the light and we can see it creates a nice gold. You can choose bright or less bright. Once you have the right color that you think looks good, just copy the 6-digit hex right here. That's usually going to be a combination of letters and numbers, and bring it back to our website. Alright, so where it says button background color, you can just choose add a background color, and in this upper box next to the check mark, just paste in the hex that you chose. Alright, beautiful. Maybe we want it a little more orangish. Alright, we can try it one more time. Paste. Beautiful. Just make sure to get that hashtag in there. And we now have a button background color. For button text color, let's just choose black. Keep it standard. And we can scroll down and get rid of the button border color by clicking the transparent option right here. And if you think that black button text is a little too severe, we can actually reduce that color a little bit. Maybe like a purplish. Suits you a little bit more. Just click on the color wheel and drag. And you can grab something like a nice dark magenta, which might be a little bit easier on people's eyes as that color comes from our background as well. Alright, and just save it. To make this hero image absolutely perfect, we can open up our button settings one more time. Click design, button, and we can change up the icon on the button. You have many different icons to choose from, and those will go right after the text or perhaps right before it if you change the button icon placement. Alright, so maybe you just want like a simple right hand arrow. Now you'll get a simple right hand arrow. Or a circled right hand arrow. Now you'll get a circled right hand arrow. Alright guys, great job. You've learned so much here. I know it was a little bit of a struggle getting through that entire hero image with the headline text, subheadline, and button, but your skills for the Divi theme have truly increased by tenfold now. Let's make sure to save our button, and of course at the bottom of the screen, open up our purple button and save all of our work. Now we can go to our site and see what we made. Our homepage looked very bare before, but when we refresh, we can see we have the most beautiful hero image yet. Great job. Alright, next guys, we're going to create your featured icons, which will go right beneath the featured image. They'll sit right down here, and I hope to show you some of the amazing tools of this ultra premium theme that you purchased here. So let's get started and let's jump in. Let's click the plus to add a new section, and let's just make it a regular section. So within this regular section, we want to just have one row, and then the first module we want to insert is going to be some text. So let's grab the text, and you can see by default this will insert quite a bit of content, so let's go ahead and highlight and delete the content and insert our own. Now I'm just going to highlight the Your Brand Features part and make that bigger. We're going to click Paragraph and make it a heading one so it stands out, and we can control it from Design. I know I said I like to use all my font styling from Design, but in this case it's okay to include the paragraphs right here in your text editor, and I'll show you why. So now let's click on Design. Let's move our text settings bar so we can see what we're making. And let's click the text drop down. Okay, so now what I want to do is change our text font to our Montserrat that we're starting to use. For the text font weight, we're going to go for a semi-bold. Let's scroll down and let's bring our text size up to 24. Oops, just hit enter, so sometimes that'll happen and it'll go away. And we'll go back to design, text, and then scroll down and let's choose the orientation of the text to center everything. Great, so we're done with our text right here, and I'm going to go to the heading settings now where we can control that H1. So to do that, I actually want to close the text dropdown so we can see the heading area, and now let's open up heading text. So the first thing you want to make sure of is that you got the right heading text selected up here. We are basically changing all the H1s, and if you had H2 or H3 selected, but you had H1 written in here, then it wouldn't work to make the changes. So let's keep it on H1. And what I really want to do now is just bring that heading text size all the way up to 6 VW. which is viewport units. Just another way of doing it. Of course, we want to keep it on one line, so maybe we'll stick with something like 2 or 3 VWs. 3 looks perfect. Great job, so we're done with all of our text settings for this section. Let's just make sure to save. Okay, now for the fun part where we actually create those featured icons. We're going to make a new section beneath this headline. So click the blue plus, click on regular, and in this case we're going to go for 4 columns right here with the 4 green boxes. Alright, so there it is, and we're going to go ahead and insert some blurbs in a moment, but I want to make a couple changes to the styling of this section and the box shadow that goes above it, first and foremost. So let's X out of here. Okay, so we're going to come back to our upper section here. I know I said we're done with it, but we actually want to create a box shadow which sort of distinguishes this upper section from the lower section. Let's see how to do it. So let's click on the gear icon right here. And now just click on design and come down to box shadow. And the box shadow I want us to use is the second one right here. Alright, so you can already see that nice border between the 2 sections. But to make it look perfect, and because I'm just a magician, and because I've learned from the creators of Divi a ton already, I know that the horizontal position of 19 pixels will look good, that we can keep the box shadow vertical position as is. We can change the blur strength to 80 pixels, and we can change the shadow spread strength to a negative 16 pixels, and that will look ideal. Now, as far as the shadow color, that's up to you. Any form of gray will look good here, but right now we have the 0.3. If you want to copy that exactly on your website, I think that looks ideal as well. Alright, so let's save it and let's move on. So now I think we are actually done with our headline section, and we can move down to the section that will contain our featured icons. The first thing I want us to do is click on the section settings by clicking on the blue gear. Alright, and then click on background, and then click on design. Now we're going to open up sizing, and we're going to bring the width from 100% down to just 1080 pixels. Alright, so we want to have precise control of that width for when we put in our icons and make things line up. We're going to do section alignment of center, of course, and that looks good. So now we can move to dividers, and dividers is a really important section that a lot of people don't know about, because this is where we can make it look like one section connects with another one with a cool shape, and no one really knows how you made it, making you look like a professional web designer, but you're going to know how to make it now. So go ahead and choose divider style, and I already have one picked out for us, which is this nice little half moon. Although you might be intrigued by the other ones with the more jagged lines, totally up to you. For now, let's just do this one because it's simple. With your divider selected, we need to change the color of that divider. So grab divider color with the eyedropper, and we're just going to choose a nice light gray. So something subtle yet strong enough that you can see it. Remember guys, subtlety really is key. That color looks great. Now just make sure that your divider height isn't 100 pixels. We actually want this set at 52%. Beautiful. And let's save it. Okay, we've made a lot of changes, so why don't we save and let's see how it looks on our website. Go back to our homepage and refresh. Alright, so we have some stuff going on there, not a ton. So let's make this section really pop by finally adding in our real icons. Let's go back to the Divi page builder, and we can just click plus on the leftmost column. Now we can grab the blurb, and by default you can see the blurb wants to add an image here, but we want to actually change it to an icon. So we can scroll down and click image and icon and say yes, use icon. Now you just have to choose an icon that catches your eye, like for example this little star right here I think looks cool. Alright, so there we go. We now have our first icon. Next, let's move to design. So in the design section, open up image and icon, and it's here where we can change our icon color. By default, we have this nice turquoise color, which you may or may not want to keep. I personally think it looks really good, so I'm going to keep that for our first icon. Now let's choose circle icon. Yes, we want that, and we have to make that circle color a little bit different so they don't blend together. So for the circle color, I really like a light gray. you can actually click on the black and you can go ahead and grab yourself a nice gray, which is a little bit lighter than the gray of the divider that's right behind it. If you see FF, 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 or 6 Fs, I think that was 6, then you know that you've chosen a white color and you want actually a gray. So remember guys, it's all about subtlety, and we're gonna go with just some gray that you think stands out really subtly. Now we're gonna come down and we're gonna click to the text and go ahead and choose how the text is oriented. So center is great. And we have our first icon box, aka blurb, set up. So let's make sure to save it. So the next order of business, now that we've created this icon box, is just to copy it to our second, third, and fourth column. So I'm going to try using our duplicate module feature right here. And we can see it goes below, but then we can just click and drag and drop. Alright, so we can do that again. Click and drag and drop it right over the plus. And you can also do the command copy or control copy option, but I think this one is a little more fun. So duplicate and then drag and drop. Alright, great job guys. Now is where the real magic comes in. We're going to add our circle counter so that there's a moving circle around each one of our icons. And then once we learn how to do that, we can change our icons and make the colors all unique. To add the circle counter, just click plus on one of the modules, and we're going to search for our circle counter. So we're really getting familiar with a lot of the modules now. Click the circle counter, and now let's go ahead and delete the text because we don't want that title, and we'll try the number of 25. Next, come on up and click design. So in design is where you can open up circle and change the bar background color, but for the first one we're using that default turquoise, so we don't have to. Next we want to open up number text, and in number text we can make our number go away by choosing the number text color of nothing. So click on the eyedropper for number text color and bring our opacity meter all the way down to nothing. Next we're going to come down and we're going to make the number text size 0 so it's officially gone. You might have a need for that number on a different part of your site, but in this case it's actually going to overlap with our icon, so we want it to be completely empty inside that circle. Okay, now come down to sizing, and we're going to choose a width of 109 pixels for the size of the circle, and a module alignment of center. Now for perhaps the trickiest part. We're going to use a bottom margin to make our circle counter overlap with our circle icon, and we can do that in spacing. In spacing, just give ourselves a bottom margin, right here in custom margin, of negative 102 pixels. Beautiful. And then let's save it. Now, as you'll see, once we move our circle counter on top of our circle icon, it has no choice but to rest directly inside of it. Pretty cool, right? Next, we just need to copy that circle counter to our other columns. So I'm going to duplicate module. Alright, and then it'll appear. It just might be a little hard to see, and then drag it over. And I'm just going to do that twice more. Duplicate it. So we can see once we duplicate, the circle counter gets like a little bit larger, maybe twice as enlarged. And then duplicate. Sometimes you just got to have faith that you're clicking on the right thing. And in that case, it looks like I didn't. So let's duplicate the right one. Oops. Delete, delete. And drag it over. So the way you can tell if you're duplicating the icon box with all the text or the circle counter is the circle counter actually rests a little bit on top of the icon box. So this is the module settings for the circle counter, whereas if I move my mouse down, we get the module settings for the icon box, aka the blurb. We can now change up the duration of the counting, so we get 25, 50, 75, 100. Let's go ahead and hit the settings for our circle counter and up that number. Super easy. All right. One more time. Oops. And one more time to 100. And save. So now we'll change the icon as well as the color of our second circular icon, and then I'll let you go ahead and do the rest of them on your own. So click on the settings for the module. Click design. Click image and icon, and let's change the icon color. So I have my nice little purple here, and I really do recommend you paste your colors into a blank text tab or something like that. That way you can use them all around your site. All I mean is a blank text editor file like this, which every computer should have. So now let's change our circle counter color. Let's save the blurb settings and grab the module settings for the circle counter. Click design and click circle. Let's make that bar background color our purple that we've selected here. Paste it in and you're good to go. And save it. Now let's change up our icon. Click on image and icon and go ahead and grab whatever catches your fancy in terms of cool looking icons. So I want an icon that says we're having fun. Alright, and if all the good ones weren't taken by social media, then it'd be a little easier. Of course, you could use the social media icon here and link it to your Insta or your Facebook or whatever. Alright, so I think the present does the job for I was having fun. And let's save it. So in a moment, I'll replace all the icons and all the colors for the exact style that I have in mind for our demo site. But right now, let's show you the last part of this structure, which is to make the image icons line up with the divider behind them. So what we need to do is visit the row settings, which is not the blue, it's the green, remember. The row is the green and the section is the blue. So let's visit our row settings with the green gear icon. And now let's click design, sizing, and we're going to make this row full width to stretch it out a little bit. Close sizing, and now let's go to spacing. And for column 2 and 3, I want to add a custom padding on the top of 9%. So we achieved moving these icons downwards, but they still don't line up with our divider, and our divider is getting way too vertical. So let's see if we can actually make our divider spread out and catch those icons right in the middle of them, like a jump rope. I think we can do that if we save and close the row settings, and then open up our section settings with the blue gear icon. Click on design, click on sizing, and where we had made it 1080 pixels before, let's try something more like 80%. Perfect, that just might do it. Now our divider does line up and catches our icon boxes right in the lower part of that circle. We can save it, and of course you could move those other icons down a little bit more if you want. Just bring up the row settings one more time, click on design, spacing, and we can increase that column 2 and column 3 custom padding to more like a 10%. Beautiful. Alright, so those fine details are up to you, but I think the look we've achieved is pretty darn nice. Let's go ahead and save it and let's see what we made. Refresh the site. Wow, that was scary. Alright, hope that doesn't happen to you. If it does, just try saving again, and perfect. We've now achieved the look that we're going for. Alright guys, and now with the flick of the hand and a wave of the mouse, we've created all 4 of our featured icon boxes with their unique looking colors, icons, and I think the result is pretty cool. For us, it's all cool because you know how to do it and you have the WordPress skills to repeat it, and for your visitors, they're just gonna say like, wow, that is downright professional. Make sure to save it and we'll move on. Alright, next I want to create a full width testimonial for you guys. So let's click on the plus button for a new section and let's grab a regular section. And even though we're going to make it full width, we just want it to be regular, because if you choose full width, then the options are a little bit different for what you can put inside of it. Alright, for a testimonial, we just need 1 column inside the row. And of course, we're going to scroll down and grab testimonial. Alright, let's see what we made. Pretty cool. So what I have for you guys today is a quote from the legendary Sant Singh Chatwal. And we're going to put the quote in first in the visual tab down below. Alright, there's our quote. So it says name goes here. Let's go ahead and replace the name. Alright, very cool. And job title. And now we need to replace the image. Let's close the text and let's add the image for our quote. So this is going to be a portrait image URL. And to replace this demo image, we just need to click on it, upload files, select files, and we're going to look for our man Chatwal. Alright, double click to open. We don't need to change the attachment display settings or any of this, just click upload an image, and it'll become that perfect profile image circle. And let's save it. So what if we want to put a background on the quote so that the quote sits on top of a background? Well, we should be able to either do that in our row or better yet, in our section, and that way it'll apply to the whole section. So let's click on section settings with the blue gear, and now background. Let's change the background type to an image and add background image. We can try this really cool background image of the wolves and upload an image. Alright, and let's save it and let's see what it looks like. So that looks better. We have something to look at, and the wolves are nice and HD wolves. So we're just going to want to remove the white background and then make it parallax, and we should be good to go. To give your section background image a parallax quality, click on the gear icon. Now open up the background and you'll see this Use Parallax Effect checkbox. So click it. And now let's save and let's see what happens. Alright, we can see it's already parallaxing a little bit. The wolves move at a different pace as the quote does. So pretty cool. That's really all there is to parallax. If you were using pure coding, you need to know about CSS speeds and transitions and delays and all that. But because we're using WordPress, that does the job for us and we look really cool. Okay, so I'm going to see what we can do about this white background on the chat wall quote. So let's click on the settings for the testimonial module itself. And then come down and hit background. And we're going to check use background color. If it's not, now just click anywhere on the background color and bring the white opacity down to about 50%. Super cool. All right. Next we can click design and we can change the quote icon if you like. We can change its background color or, other stuff about the quote. And perhaps coolest of all is we can set an animation at the bottom. So we can see we can make this quote fade in over the mountains or slide in over the mountains or bounce in, roll in, fold in, flip in, or zoom in. And whatever you want to go with I think will work. None is obviously pretty good, but in my opinion just a subtle zoom in from the depths of the mountains to the foreground of your website looks really cool. You can also choose the animation to repeat. It can go on loop. Alright, might be a little too much quote. And now we're going to change the animation direction to left if you want, or right. I think center looks good, and we can actually remove that loop. And now you can choose how long the animation takes. So if it goes really long, it'll be slow, or then shorter is going to be less milliseconds. The default is pretty good. Maybe we'll bring it up a couple 100 milliseconds. You can choose if it delays, so if it comes up right away or if it takes a moment. And then of course the animation speed can also be changed, so maybe instead of ease in out, it's just ease out. But that might be too complicated for now. So let us just save it and we can move on. We just need to increase the size of that text because it's a little bit hard to read right now. So let's open up those testimonial settings once more. And we can highlight the text and we can make it a paragraph 2. Beautiful. Of course, now that it's a paragraph 2, we can also go to design, body text, and we can change the font to our favorite Montserrat. Love it. Great job, guys. Alright, and we'll save. Next, I want to show you how to create a call to action for the bottom of your website, because you never know, maybe your first call to action doesn't get them. It takes a couple tries sometimes. So let's click on the blue plus to add a new section, and regular. Now in this case, we want our buttons offset to the right of our website with some text to the left. So I really like this row layout with 2 columns on the right and then one big one off to the left. Alright, let's just X out and let's see what we're actually doing. So we just need to click and add some content. Super easy. We can just click on the left and add our text, and then we can click on. Let's just save it, and now let's click on the right, add our button, and save it, and click on the far right, add our button, and save it, and save the whole screen. Okay, so this part's really easy, and honestly we deserved an easy section after all those before this one. So I just want to delete the text here and paste in some custom text I wrote. Alright, and I'm also going to change the sizing of it. Let's just click on the text settings, design, text. Let's make the text font our favorite Montserrat, and let's bring the text size up to 18. Great job. And save it. Now we can work on our buttons. Let's click on the first button settings, and the first thing we want to do is just change the button text. This one is going to say discover more, Discovered, by the way, is one of those magical words that just seems to get a lot of clicks. We're still not sure why. Now let's click on design, click button, click use custom styles, and that way we can make the button text size a little bit smaller so it fits inside the button. 16 should do, definitely going with multiples of 4. Now we can just save, and we can also change up our button color so that it matches one of the colors we have above. So that part's up to you, whether you want to use purple, green, pink, orange, or gold. In my case, I'm really digging how this purple feels, so let's click on the settings of this icon, click design, image and icon, and we can steal the purple color right off the icon color if you don't want to do that text editor option, which I totally understand. Now let's click on the button settings, click design, button, use custom styles, and we can change the button text color right here by pasting that in. And I believe we can also change the button border color down below. Probably want to keep those the same. Cool, and save it. So because we created some great settings for this button, I'm actually going to remove this second button and just duplicate this button and move it over. Perfect. Now we just need to choose a different color and a different style and some different text. Let's click on the button settings, and for the second button text, I want to do sign up here. Now I'll click design and button, and we can change up how the colors operate. Now I'm going to grab the orange from our super premium technology icon, just because orange has been known to get clicks and to get people to actually take action. Design, image and icon, icon color. Steal that color that we put in a moment ago just by copying it, and then you can come down and change up that button color. Click button settings, design, button. Make sure you're using custom styles, button text color. Just delete and paste. And then button border color, paste in our orange. And you know, guys, I changed my mind. I actually want this button to be a solid color and see how that looks. So to set up a solid color button, you can just make the button background color whatever you want the solid color to be, like our orange. You just have to change the button text color then to a white or a black. Perfect. And save it, and we're good to go. Last thing we need to do in this button section is change the alignment of the buttons so they sit a little closer together. Just click on the button settings, click design, alignment, right, and save, and then click the second button settings, design, alignment, left, and I guess it was already on the left, so we'll just save it. Great job, guys. Now we'll save this section. So the footer of your website needs to be super clean and match your branding, and as such, we're going to create a custom footer and then remove the existing Divi footer. So let's click the blue plus icon to create a new section as per usual. And for our footer, we're going to go crazy and do specialty. Alright, and you might think I'm really crazy for doing this, but I think footer deserves a lot more credit than it gets out there these days. And so we're going to try using one of these 4-row layouts. I like the one with the orange box on the left because we're going to write a little about us blurb there. So let's try that one. Okay, let's see what we made. So it doesn't look too much different than a normal section. It just has different options right out of the gate. It's going to ask to edit row right away, and we're going to see that we're not actually getting that big green box, little green box, little green box structure. We're just getting the option to add a row over here. So we actually want to go with 2 or 3 columns because we want to put more content in than just one row. If we just wanted to put in one row, then we would have just done one of those simple sections with left and right rows. Anyways, that's a mouthful. So for the first module, I want us to do the social media follow buttons. Super cool. We probably don't have enough of these to fill up the entire side of the screen, and that's why we're putting it just in a column. Alright guys, so it's really easy to add your social pages. They'll start you with Facebook. You can just click on the Facebook settings, and it's going to say that you want Facebook, right? We want the link there though, which is the most important part. And you can just grab the link to your existing Facebook page. Alright, so check it out, Dear Blogger. Really hope you like it, and I actually do help people there. So it'd be great if you'd be a fan, and where are we? And then you can learn even more about WordPress just in a more impersonal tone. Alright, and then we're going to do the same we're going to save it. We're going to do the same for Twitter. Click on the gear, link, And if you want, you can just write out the link. I think Twitter has an S though. So my Twitter is just .com/my name. Cool. And then Greg Ryan. Cool. And then save it. Now we can add another social network. They have so many to choose from. Instagram's pretty fun. I doubt people are really going to follow me through this demo website, but in your case, you're making the real website for your real brand. So got to do a little self-promotion now. And lastly, we're just going to go with YouTube. All right, obviously. Link is just youtube.com/NaraiGuy. And maybe I'll change that to like a custom subscription +1 link. And save it, and save. All right, so if we see our row is not letting us put all our social icons on one line, then we're actually going to want to make something full width here. So let's try clicking on the settings for the section, design, sizing, and we'll make this section full width. Perfect. Now let's save it. All right, now we're really going to throw a curveball at everyone and set up a email subscription box in the footer. So that would be our email opt-in module. All right, you never know when someone's going to choose to subscribe, and this is a great way of just saying like, enter your email and you'll get 10% off, or enter your email for our weekly deals newsletter. You can think of something more creative. We'll change the title to something more enticing. Now we can close the text, and we can also change up the fields. I generally think single name field is better than first name, last name. It's just easier having 2 fields to fill out as opposed to 3. And someone can choose whatever name they want for themselves then. Now we'll change the success action, which actually is okay. That's just going to be what someone sees once they subscribe. Now we'll click email account. Now I just need to change the service provider to Constant Contact. That's my email subscription provider of choice. They help me collect subscribers, send out ebooks, build a newsletter, quote unquote, build a list. It's all pretty profitable once it gets going, and I'll leave you a link below in the video notes on how to set up your own email list too. It's a really good idea to do this early, because then later on you have more subscribers. You can send new products and even just blog posts too. And it helps you launch things right away. Basically everyone out there is building a list. So, eventually you'll ask, why not me too? And you'll do it. Okay, let's set up our list here. And the cool thing is that Divi can communicate with Constant Contact. We just need to click add. And I'm going to give them some basic details about my account, which are all really easy to find. I'll just do that at a later time so we don't waste our time now. All right, good work, guys. Let's save our new email subscription form. And the last thing we want in our footer is just a little section that has the copyright traditionally listed. So I'm going to make this new section and write copyright 2018. It's almost 2019 though. Divi Blogger Inc. That's my company. Vertical bar, all rights reserved. Pretty cool. And before we hit save, we're going to grab the copyright symbol from Google. So we can just grab it right here from Wikipedia and paste that in your site. And I think that goes before the C, but someone correct me if it has to go like after the copyright word. And now we'll just save. Okay, the very last thing our footer needs is just a little about us blurb. So we're going to grab another text module and just write a little bit about ourselves. Alright, and save it. And for our footer, we might need a subtle background color just to set it apart from the other white sections. Let's click section settings, background, add a background color, and just give ourselves a really subtle light gray. Perfect. All right, I know it's a little bit of an unconventional footer, but let's save it. And now let's save the whole site, and let's just see how it looks. Click the purple button and save. And let's refresh our homepage. And I think you're going to see that the result is actually pretty impressive. And it's so impressive that the footer didn't even come in at first. It had to take its time. But in any case, now you have a ton of real estate beneath your website to go ahead and put whatever additional information you or your company or your products or your brand needs. Great job. Okay, so our homepage is almost done. We just need to set up our logo and make sure that it sits inside of our navigation menu and it looks all professional up there. So we first need to actually make a logo, and then we'll insert it right there at the top. To create your logo, I like using a service called Logo Maker without the E. That's logomakr.com. Alright, we use this in like 99% of all my tutorials these days, and it's super fun and best of all free. Alright, so what you need to do to start is search over 1 million graphics, like elephant. Alright, and the elephant we're going to go with today is just this cute little guy who's just showing off, shaking off his trunk. To grab an icon once you found the one you like, and believe me, there are thousands of all categories, shapes, and sizes, just click on it and it'll come into your canvas. Now you can click to change the size or hit Command Z if you don't like what you did. You can of course click in the corners and make it larger, and then click to resize. You can also add text. The text can be increased and decreased in size, and you can also use the helpful grids to line it up in the perfect spot next to your icon. Alright, that's all super customizable. We don't want any text there today. We want to keep it simple, like the logo for Apple, for example, where it's just a nice image, and in the future it hopefully becomes iconic for you. Alright, so what we're going to do is give you a black logo and a white logo, and that way if you have to put the logo on top of like a dark image, you can use the white logo. Otherwise you can do the black logo. Or of course, it's totally up to you. You could make the logo like light blue. Whatever you want to do. You can make the logo like hot neon blue. Whatever you want to do. Alright, so I'm just going to try out the black. Super cool, professional, and make sure to click crop in the lower right. After you click crop, make sure to hit enter to actually crop your logo. And now we just need to save it by clicking the floppy disk icon in the upper right. Now we need to click on the no thanks download low resolution file. Unless you do want the high res one, that's fine, that's really cool too. And we're going to name it and save it. And after you save it, it's going to give you some instructions to give credit to Logo Maker, which is required, guys. So click follow this guide and scroll down to where it says website, if you are a website, which we are, and just copy this text right here, and now come back to our site. And I like doing this step really quick, which is just to add a new page that's going to be our credits page, so we don't forget to do it later. To add your credits page, just hover on the skinny nav and click page. Now we are just going to paste in that text from Logo Maker, and we are going to link this to logomaker.com. So highlight it, click insert edit link, and just type in the link to Logo Maker. Alright, so we can actually go back to logomaker.com and get the original version of the link. Alright, and come back, paste it in, click on the link options, open a new tab, update, and call this page credits, and just publish it so the world can see it. Alright, super cool guys. Now we're actually going to insert that logo we downloaded. We can go to the Divi settings area, which we haven't done in a while, I don't think. Maybe we've never gone here. And at the top where it says logo, just click upload, upload files, select files. Alright, double click our elephant black logo, set as logo, and at the bottom, let's just save changes. And I'm really hoping that the logo just gets sized down perfectly. Let's click back to our home page, and we can see it did. We have this perfect, small, beautiful little high definition elephant logo. Super cool, super fun. And by the way, make sure to link your credits page we just created from a prominent location on your website before you launch it, so that people can actually find and read your credits if they need to. Alright guys, the last thing I want to show you on our homepage is how to do some really cute custom CSS to remove the black footer at the bottom and to make our elephant a little bigger if we want it. To do that custom CSS, just open your site in a new tab. Alright, and now let's go back to the Divi settings where we just were. Or Divi Theme options rather. So now we're going to use one of my favorite features as a web designer called Inspect Element. And to use Inspect Element, you just need to start at the bottom of this Divi Theme options screen where it says Custom CSS. So just put your mouse there and leave it lying there. And we're going to actually go back to the home page and right click on top of the logo and hit Inspect. So I'm in Google Chrome, which I recommend for everyone as a beginner web designer. But most other browsers also have this inspect tool, so you should be fine. So what we're looking for here is to make sure the logo is highlighted, which it is. We can see it's highlighted down here and up here. And what we're really looking for is the hashtag logo on the right over here. You want to just remember a hashtag logo and come back to custom CSS and write it in there, or copy it in. Then put an open alligator bracket, hit enter, and write in max height colon, and then some value more than 100%, like 135%. And write semicolon, and then make sure the close bracket is there, and then save it. And what this is telling your site and your logo specifically to do is just to adjust so it's a little bit bigger than that usual max. Alright, the only problem is we made it too big here, so it's stretching outside of our navigation area. So we just need to play around a little, as I'm sure you'll do a ton in WordPress. It's all about trial and error. And we can maybe do like a 75% and get away with that. Perfect. Alright, so that's bigger than it was before. It looks good, it fits, nailed it. At the same time, we can use custom CSS to get rid of our footer. You just need to right click on your footer, and I'm sorry I'm going below the video here, but I'm just clicking inspect. Alright, ladies and gents, now just make sure the footer is highlighted, which it is, and come over to the right. And we're just going to remember footer dash bottom with the hashtag in front of it. Alright, and come back to our theme options. That line of CSS with the logo is done, so make yourself a new line, put in the hashtag, footer dash bottom, open bracket, enter, display, none, semicolon, and hit save changes. Alright, now let's X out of the inspect and refresh, and let's see if it worked. And it did, and we zapped our footer. Super cool. We just wrote 2 lines of CSS, and the best part is they both worked. So I just want to remind you, when you're writing custom CSS, that it's important to play around, but it's even more important that you get all of the punctuation right. You could have the display command right, but you could be missing the dash in between the footer and the bottom, and it won't work, and so on and so forth. You have to have perfect, precise punctuation when you write CSS, otherwise there's really no point. But it's not that complicated. It's not more than like about 50 or so symbols just to get this, just to write a successful line of CSS, including the actual letters. So I think you can do it. Let me know, of course, any questions as you journey further and further into CSS and you want help with certain commands, or you can always just Google them or get them from one of the many free resources online that'll help you with individual pieces of WordPress CSS if you just Google what they might be. And save changes. And our site is looking superb. Alright guys, so here I am now on cover.co. Why are we on cover.co? Well, because Divi recommends Cover for picking your video backgrounds for your site, and we got to pick one now for our About Us page. So I found some really cool video backgrounds with coffee in them, or animals, or topics like urban. You can just click on one of the topics and it'll go right there for you. Alright, just make sure you get one of the ones from Cover because they're free, and not one of the ones from Shutterstock. Even though they're beautiful, they'll cost you some money. So I almost picked one from Cover, but then I found this beautiful iMac nature video on YouTube, and I think I'm going to try to use this one instead. So let's go back to our website, let's open the About Us page, and let's get to work. So far we just have the video we put up at the beginning, and our logo, our sidebar, and our menu. So it looks pretty good, but we're going to make this page come to life like the home page. I'm also going to open up our home page in a new window, because what I want us to learn how to do now is use the template for our hero image on the About page, and then just change it up so there's a video in the background. That'll save you a ton of time. So click Enable Visual Builder on the home page. Now come up to the section, and on our blue navigation up here, just click on the button that says Save Section to Library. We're going to call this layout the Hero section. Mark it as a global item so that you can use it across the whole site if you want, and I already made the category Image and Video. So make your own category if you need right here, and then you can just click Save to Library. Now we can hop back to our About page, and if you edit your About page with the Visual Builder and then go out of it, then it might remove your sidebar. It looks like it's done that here, but that's okay because we don't want to use the sidebar on this page anyways. So let's click Enable Visual Builder. Alright, it should ask us how we want to start building. So we can just click Start Building in the Build from Scratch box. And it's going to say Insert Row, so sure, we'll do one column. And it's not going to find our section in the module library right here with the purple tab because it's not a module. So we have to X out of this, and and we can actually close this row. And what we have to do is create a new section. So what I'm going to do is actually click on this blue plus down here below this empty section, and now we can choose add from library, and it will understand we made a section. Just choose it, hero section, and it drops right in, and we can just delete the empty section above it. Very cool. So now we have this beautiful hero image on our about page. Let's change it up. So the first thing we obviously want to change is the background of this section, and now it's giving us the green tabs for some reason. Alright, so we'll get used to that. Let's click on the section settings, background. Alright, and we are going to delete this image background, and we're going to choose video background on the far right. Alright guys, so it looks like we've reached our first real roadblock, and I'm so sorry about that. There's no option to use a YouTube video link as our video background. So we're going to have to try to find a workaround. Definitely ask for your help on that if you find a solution. For now, the good news is we can just use a free video background, at least it's free from Cover. And then I'll show you how to embed a video onto your about page so someone can click and play it. So at least we'll have that. And that way you can use YouTube videos, Vimeo videos, any other type of videos. But so sorry about that little roadblock there. So we're going to search on Cover for coffee. Alright. And I think this one is really cool. It's this like double espresso. And that way you could have your logo on this little shot glass here, and it could be like a light logo, and then once the coffee covers it, it could show up, the logo could show up, kind of like that one does, but it'd have to be like a white text. Anyways, up to you. So just an idea for this cover video, but we're actually going to just stick with our black and white one. I think the symmetry and the slow motion of the pour is just really beautiful in its own way. So to use a cover video, just click download free, and then just go ahead and save it. Alright, now you're going to see it on your computer. Just click it to open it, and it'll give you the folder, and in that folder you'll find the MP4, or maybe you need to use the other file types, but we're going to use MP4. Now just come back to our About Us page, and we're going to click Add Video Background MP4. So add background video, select Files, and you just need to open up our folder we just saved and double click the MP4. Alright, as you can see there guys, we just used the videosmaller.com website to upload our video and shrink it by about 67%. Let's see if that works now. Add background video, select file. And now it works. So you just need to go to videosmaller.com or another site that might be better in your area, wherever you can access a video reduction tool, and go ahead and reduce the size of your video to something maybe under 5 megabytes. And it should be good guys. Or if you record a quick custom video with your phone, then hopefully that should be much smaller in kilobytes. So that should work. Now let's click upload video. Alright. And there we have it. Super cool. Our video is playing. Alright, so I'm just going to click design now in this section and sizing. And we can see we can change the width here. Alright, and we can see by doing that with our width, we actually made the video into a full width background video. And it started at 100 and we left it at 100, but the video just knows that now we want it to be exactly, but the video knows now that we want it to actually be 100%. And we'll save it. Very cool. Always nice when little things work, isn't it? Next, we'll just change up the text on top of our hero video. And we'll change up our subtext. So you can see you can also edit the text right on top of it. You don't even need to open up the settings for the module. Okay, beautiful guys. Now we're just going to change the button. So, oops, didn't mean to click it. Now we're just going to change the button text to say our mission. And then we're going to make the button scroll down the page using an anchor link technology. But first, I just want to populate our about page with more content. So why don't we go ahead and click on the add section button at the very bottom, which is kind of hidden by our video, but we can still grab it. Got it, and regular. And we're going to do the 2-row section for once. And we're going to try using our bar counters. Alright, let's scroll down and see what we're making. So let's just create 2 more bar counters. And when you click create, it's going to take you to the settings. You just have to click the back arrow at the top to go back to this window. 1 more and back. And we can change up the first one now. So to change up the first bar, just click its settings button. So for the first one, we're going to write beginner friendly web design. And we do that about 75% of the time, so that's cool. Alright, now we can just go back and change the second one. We're going to make that one video production. Alright, we do that about 50% of the time and back. And for the third one, we're going to call this one good old fashioned blogging. And I do that about 20% of the time, even though I feel like I should do it more. Sorry for the blog readers, it can leave you hanging sometimes. Alright, now we can just save it. And so of course you could talk about like what you do at your business, or how far you are on meeting your goals, or reaching your funding, or building X mini schools or something like that. Really cool. Okay, now in the right column we're going to add new module, and we're going to choose an image, but we can actually make it even cooler than an image by choosing person, because that should give us our circle image. So of course you could put your CEO or CFO or vice president of foreign affairs right here, but for us I want to just put in this cool photo from me and my homies in I think we're in New York at a conference for affiliate marketing. So you can always save image as on Facebook and just change up the title, download it, then come back to our website, scroll down, and we're going to click image. Click on the image to upload a new one, upload files, select files, and then just choose me and the homies. Alright guys, so we're going to upload the image now without changing the settings, and there it is. Super cool. So I'm going to see if I can make it a circle now. Let's go to design, and let's click image. And let's go to the rounded corners and just up those to 25 each. So if that's not enough, we could try 75. And we could also try a percentage, like 25%. And that should give you the rounded edges, except for our image is a rectangle, so we're going to get an oval, but that's okay for us. Lastly, I just want to give us a box shadow around our image so it looks like it's a little three-dimensional, and I'm going to choose this second one. Beautiful. Now let's save it. We can also change up the text right here so that people know that it's not just a position. And to do that, I'm actually going to click on the module settings. For name goes here, let's write, we had a great, then let's delete position, and you can just scroll down and remove all this demo text and write a little bit about your visit or your team. And my boys shown here, Arun, Zach, and Coolwan, aren't actually part of my team. I just thought I'd prank them and see if they notice this, and we're all part of the larger team of inspirational and quality bloggers that try to do good. Like miniature blogging superheroes, if you will. So let's change up the text and just write, alright, now save it and we can move on. Alright, now to give ourselves some spacing between the image and the headline here, we're actually going to copy the headline right out of this text box. We're going to delete it too and come down and paste that in our paragraph. Once we do that, you can actually make that an H1. Super cool, and you can also give it a space. To give it a space, click the text tab, make a space above the H1 and just write at MBSP semicolon, which WordPress knows is code for a space. Alright, looks good. Let's just save it. The next criteria our about page needs is a video, and we can add that with one more section. So let's click add new section, regular, just a single column, and enter. And now we're going to come down and choose a video. Alright, click on video at the very bottom. So you can see by default they'll populate this super cool Divi ad where they compare Divi to a painting and they have like a real painter. It's super funny. And this actress really gives some priceless looks to the camera. So we just want to change the video to our own though, even though this is a great video. But I want to actually give us a new video, and it's always smart to use one of our own videos. So let's just grab another one you guys might like, which is how to make any blog. Alright, search it. Alright, super cool. Now just click the URL to copy your video. Come back to the About Us page and open up that video module. Now where it says video MP4 URL, just click on this little circle arrow and it should remove it. you just have to click add video. And of course this option is actually going to want us to just upload a video, so that's the wrong module. Sorry about that. What we have to grab instead of this video module is just a blank text module. So let's add new module, choose text. Alright, and now we can actually embed our video, which is even better for SEO. Just click share like we did way before, embed, copy the embed code, and come back, and we're going to paste that in the text tab because it is a little piece of text coding. And paste, and now our video will show up great. You can also center the video just by adding a center tag above and beneath it. Make sure you close it off though, like so. So that's one cool way of doing that. And we want to make our video 100% width. Alright, and then we're going to make the height an even 600. Perfect. And let's save it. Alright, great job. Our about page just needs two more things. We need to put our story here and then have a footer. So let's add one more section beneath. Regular. Single row. Alright. Text is good. Let's click to the visual tab, and as you can see we have all this default text, so let's just replace it with our own story. Make a space at the top, and I'm going to write our story and assign this as an H1 in paragraph. Now we can head to design and make our text look pretty. Let's just click on text, and for text font we're going to go with Montserrat. We're going to bring our text size up to 18 and increase our line height now to 1.9. Now we just need to change up our story, so we can close text and click heading text and change the H1. Let's make that heading font our favorite lobster. Scroll down and increase its size to 60 pixels. And of course, let's align it to the center. Super cool. Alright, and save it. So our about page looks really good now. We have a lot of interesting stuff going on. Of course, you could put more modules beneath these counters, like an accordion, for example. But we're going to just stick with this look for now and add a footer. To add our footer, just click plus in the new section area. Choose regular. Choose one row. And then just close out of here. And we're actually going to save this entire page right now, because we have to save the footer from our home page as a section so we can use it over here. So let's go back to our home page and scroll down to the footer we made. Now click on the Save Section to Library button. Give it a name like Custom Footer. Make this item global and add a category, so footers, and save to library. Now we can come back to our About Us page and make sure to just save it one more time because we've done a lot of work. Alright, and now we're going to delete this row in here and go to this section area. And it actually looks like our best option is to delete this blank section and now click Add New Section. Alright, click Add New Section, Add from Library. Okay, and the page doesn't understand that we saved the section yet because we need to refresh it. So just make sure you save it again, refresh the whole page. Alright, it's always good to save your page 2, 3, even 4 times when you do a lot of work like we just did. Now we can come to the bottom, Add New Section, Add from Library. Hopefully our footer is there. Perfect, there's our custom footer. Just click it and our footer comes right in. Now let's click the purple button and save it, and our About page is done. Tremendous work, guys. Let's see what we made. Let's just go to the site on the front end. And you now have a beautiful looking About page. Alright, and the menu inherits all the styles we made originally. We have this beautiful full width, full screen auto playing video. A little bit about us, a little bit about a video. Except for the video looks crazy. Did not see that coming, did we? So let's actually go back and change how the video operates. Click to open the module. Click text, and we're just going to delete what we had for our iframe, because you can always go back to the video and copy it again. Alright, and paste it in again. And I'm just going to use the method I showed you of centering it, which is going with the center and the center. Very cool. While we're here, we can actually click design, box shadow, and give this video a little bit of styling around it. Now we can click spacing and make it so there's a little bit of margin on the left and right so that the white border looks symmetrical around the video. So try a 20% on the left and a 20% on the right. That looks good, and we'll save it. Now we just have to refresh it on the About page and see what we made. Next, we want to create our contact page, so we can just click and visit the page. And we see our standard page with the content and the sidebar, but we're going to get rid of all of that. So let's click Enable Visual Builder. All right, and then the familiar loading screen comes up. We're going to go to the Build from Scratch window with this cute little dancing, I guess it looks like kind of a monster with the eyes and the square and the circle. Never really noticed that. And we're going to click Start Building. And we're going to click one column row. Perfect. So now we're going to X out of the modules because we're going to use the section that comes from our home page. So we're just going to click Add New Section, Add from Library, choose our hero section. There it is. And then we're just going to delete the previous section. All right, so it saved the section from our About page. Pretty cool. Now what we want to do is click on the section settings, click Background. We're going to click Image, second from the right, add background image, and then we're just going to grab our beach photo. Perfect, and upload an image. All right, and save changes. It'll take a moment to load. And if it doesn't load for you, just click on section settings again, click on background, and you can go ahead and delete the video background. And then the image should show up. Perfect. Sometimes the video comes above the image. And save it. Very cool. Alright, so now in our off-center little headline area, we're just going to change the text. So it says, contact us. We're here. Then we'll change the headline. Once you write out your heading and your subheading, we're just going to delete the button because contact page doesn't need a button. And then I'm going to show you how to move the heading and the subheading to the higher part of the image in case you don't want it down in the lower right. To do that, you just got to find the row which contains the text and click Settings, Design, Spacing, and you can get rid of that 10% and save it. And now we can find the module that contains the lower heading text. Click on Settings, Design, Spacing, and you can just give it a little more on the bottom. So we can keep it at 4% top, negative 12% right, and just give it like 8% on the bottom. And save it. All right, or you give it even more on the bottom so you can show the beach. Click Design, Spacing. You can even go for like a 28. Then you'll see a little bit more of the beach and save it, and perfect. So your hero image doesn't have to be the full screen, just as long as you show the right amount of the image that you desire. Alright, so our beach image looks good on our contact page. We just want to click plus beneath it to add a new section. Click regular. And now let's choose the 2-column layout. And we're going to add a contact form. Alright, so this contains the name, email, message, looks good. Let's just save it and let's see how it looks. Okay, pretty cool, looks good. We just want to move it to the right. For some reason I like having that in the right column. Cool, and it even has the CAPTCHA, so someone has to write the sum of this and make sure they're not a robot. They have to get that correct before they submit a contact message. Super cool, so the contact form looks a little bit bare without a title. Let's give it a heading by clicking the settings. Title. Send us a message. Now let's click design, title text. Let's make our title text font our usual lobster, font weight, bold, and we can increase the title text size to an even 40 and save it. So our contact form is done, and now in our left hand column we just want to add a map. So let's see if we have the option for a map. We can always search our modules for map. Perfect. Let's choose map. Alright, and it's going to give us this Google Map selector. Let's click on map, and it's going to ask us for a Google API key, which is a developer function That's a little bit too advanced for us now, so we're just going to X out and we're going to delete the map, and then we're going to click add new module, and we're going to get the text again. And now I'm going to show you how to get a Google map from Google Maps. So you just need to Google your address that you want to put in the Google Maps, and in my case it's Chelsea Piers YouTube Spaces, where I work with other YouTube creators. And you just need to find that address. So maybe Google doesn't find it right away, and you can put the address in, and then it'll pull it up on the upper right. Just click in the upper right where it shows the map. Now just click share, click embed a map, and just click on this iframe once to highlight it, and then right click copy. Now come back to our site and go to the text tab, and we're just going to paste it over this demo text. Paste and save it, and now you have a beautiful Google map, and you didn't even need to use a widget or anything like that, or a plugin or anything like that. Okay, so we want to add one more module above our map. We can actually click plus beneath it, and then we're going to add the blurb module. Just click on the blurb. Alright, and in the text we're just going to write out some basic details like our email, semicolon, our phone, semicolon, and our address. Alright, and this way people can reach us without using the contact form if they want. So I'm going to write my email, greg@dearblogger.org, where you really can reach out, and we offer help just about 24/7. Sometimes it takes us about a day to get back, but we always try to help you figure out any WordPress problem, no matter how crazy or complex it is. I'm going to put in our phone number. So at the moment we don't have a phone number function, but I'm working on building enough of a team where we can have phone live support at all times. So hopefully that's coming up soon, and I'll definitely let you know. Just make sure to join our community in whatever way you can, and I'll keep you posted on that. And our address, and that way you can get even more support for your website, or just say hey and talk about websites, or however your day is going, talk about that. And then our address is just Chelsea Market YouTube Spaces. And there are YouTube Spaces around the world, like Berlin, LA, Tokyo, maybe even one in India coming up. So hopefully see you there. Okay, once we write that in, let's click image and icon. Let's change the image. And I'm just going to choose this beautiful contact image screen, upload an image, and done, and save it. And now I'm just going to drag this element above the map so it sits up there. Let's click on the settings again now, and let's just delete the title and save it. Perfect. Alright, now you can actually click on the settings again, and we're going to click on the email. If you highlight your email and copy it, and then go to the visual tab, and you highlight it and you click link right here, then you write mail to : and then type in your email. Then Google will understand that when someone clicks it, it should open up that person's email browser and have your email filled in so someone can email you really easily with any questions. And click OK. Alright, and save it. Last thing we want to do is just delete the text beneath our contact form. Super easy. We will just zap that. And let's save it at the bottom by clicking our purple button and clicking save. Alright guys, and if you ever feel like one of your modules is kind of hanging out on the side and there's nothing else to put to the other side of it, you can always just move it into its own row or its own section. So in the case of our map, there's nothing really to put to the right of it. I couldn't really think of anything else that could go on our contact page, except for maybe a video or a quote, but we really want to keep it simple. So let's just click on this module and copy the map code. Actually, we're going to cut it so it's removed from there and save. And now you can just add a new row beneath the row we're in now. Choose one column, choose the text module, paste that in over the demo text, and save it. And just like that, the map will be in a different location. Alright, so if you want to make that stretch the full screen, which I'm sure you do, click on the module settings. Now you can see its width is governed by a width equals 600 and a height equals 450. You just have to change that 600 to 100% and then save it, and your map will go across the entire row, as we can see here. And now we can see way more of New York City, and people have a more enjoyable time as they click and drag and scroll, and they can see more of it, like Murray Hill, where I used to live, Garment District, Hell's Kitchen. You get it. It could be anywhere. It could be Delhi, Bangladesh, Bangalore, Madras, Chennai, Rajasthan. It could be somewhere in China or Europe or wherever you want to bring someone. You can put the map right there and have them enjoy it. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Let's click the purple button. Now let's save. Now the final thing our Contact Us page needs is just a footer. Of course, that's really easy to add. Just click Add New Section right there. Choose Add from Library and choose the custom footer. Alright, and then all we need to do is click on the purple button and save it. And our Contact Us page is done. Great job, everyone. Let's make sure to just save it and we can move on. Now guys, lastly, find ourselves on the blog. The blog can be an instrumental tool in bringing traffic to your site and also earning a bit of revenue through SEO and through content marketing over time. So let's see how to do it right. We have one blog post live from our introduction. We can click it and we can read it, but it's not going to do a whole lot for us the way it sits right now. So let's go ahead and add a new one that could actually bring us some traffic. So I want to simulate a demo blog post you might write. And the first way to figure out what blog post to write is literally just to go to Google and to type in a topic that you're thinking of writing about, like best bicycle workout. Just an example. Now, when you see the bicycle workout results, you'll get to know your competition. So maybe you want to compete with Men's Journal, 3 killer stationary bike workouts. Or maybe you're going to want to compete locally with these companies who offer actual cycling classes. Or maybe you want to compete with another brand like Daily Burn, or Health.com, or PopSugar.com. All these brands are literally nothing compared to what you could write. And I know they seem big, but I kid you not, if you have the mentality that you can crush these big brands by writing better content, answering more comments, and helping more people, then you're going to make a blog that really goes somewhere. The point is now we're getting an idea of the terms we need to use, like cycling, stationary, active, interval, training, and so on and so forth. And that'll help you write your first blog post. So obviously you might not be writing about the best bicycle workouts, but that's just one way to get ideas. When you come back to your blog, you can get started by hovering on the skinny nav at the top where it says new and clicking post. Let's close out of the Divi builder. So we get to a blank post because we're just going to use the standard WordPress post editor. That always works best. And we're just going to title our post best bicycle workout. So we learned a word there. We learned how to spell bicycle. Bike routines and training, 30 minutes or less. Alright, and we're literally just gathering words that we see from the front of Google that are popular for this particular niche. Now we need some content for our blog post, and you can go ahead and visit a site called panipsum.com, which has plenty of demo content. Okay, now on Panipsum, we're going to grab the closest possible dummy text to biking and bicycling and outdoor stuff. So we're going to get outdoor gear brand and another option, and then we're going to click generate Ipsum. And now we're going to have our demo text, so we can just copy it and bring it back to the blog and paste it in. Alright, now we can just publish our post. Alright, next we can add a featured image to our post. Let's just scroll down and click set featured image. Alright, and we're just going to choose one of our demo images and set featured image. Super cool. Now we can choose a category because we never want it to be uncategorized, although it will be by default. We're going to click add new category and click outdoors, add new category, and workouts, add new category. So this would be perfect for an outdoor or a training blog and update. Okay, now if we click to the site, we can click on the blog and we can see the post that we just made. So there it is, but it's not that exciting right now because it's really just a bunch of text and an image. To make our post really come to life, let's click edit post. And now let's go back to the plugins tab. And we're going to add my favorite plugin for building blog posts, which is called Yoast SEO. So let's click Add New. And now just do a search for Yoast, like toast with a Y, SEO. All right, and here it is. It's the one with the little dots and the cool Y. So let's click Install Now. And this is basically how major brands that don't know anything about SEO become SEO experts. They just make sure that they follow the Yoast SEO guidelines. So I'll show you how to do it right now. You don't have to pay anyone some kind of crazy $1,000 retainer for SEO. You're gonna learn how to do the majority of it right here. So once you've installed and activated Yoast, click on Post again. And now let's edit our demo bicycling post. All right, and now beneath the post, there's going to be a Yoast SEO section. All right. And the most important part you want to open up is the focus keyword. So let's open that up, and we're going to get the analysis results. And in this section, your goal is to make all these dots green. Now, how do we do that? How do we possibly make all these orange and red dots green? Well, it all comes down to choosing a good focus keyword, which means basically just writing something in right here. If you've written nothing, then they're all going to be red. Your post is kind of going to stink in Google, unless you get really lucky. So the focus keyword is just 2 to 3 words, ideally, that describe your post and are also heavily searched by users in Google. In our case, we're writing about best bicycle workouts. So the focus keyword could be a phrase like best bicycle workouts or best bicycle routine or bike workouts, or 30 minutes or less bike workouts. But in our case, let's just be really simple and let's choose best bicycle workouts. And it doesn't need to be capitalized either. All right, now we just need to go down the list and make sure we cross off all these dots. And by doing this, we'll make our post as SEO and Google friendly as possible. And that'll mean it has the best chance of ranking in Google when someone searches for our focus keyword. I know this might seem like a lot of work, but if you follow me through this one time, it's going to become a lot more second nature when you need to do it on your blog post. And believe me, I do it every time. So the first dot we need to solve is to put the focus keyword in the first paragraph of the copy. That's really easy. We can just write a sentence in the first paragraph like, here is a list of the best bicycle workouts you can do in 30 minutes or less. When we scroll down, we should have a green on the first one, but I'm just going to make sure we have lowercase, and that way SEO will really understand that we did a good job. And if you make a change and it doesn't look like Yoast is understanding it, just click update on the post, and then it will usually get its game together. So let's scroll down, open up the focus keyword section, and now we have a green dot for the focus keyword in the first paragraph of the copy. We just need to move on to the next dot, which is the exact match keyword density is 0.02%, which is too low. So that means we need to get going and insert the focus keyword as much as we can throughout the post. So I can just copy our focus keyword and come up to the post and start putting it in the right places. So maybe at the bottom of this paragraph, and maybe in the middle of this paragraph. And it's not like people that write really good posts for Google do this, but they usually do something similar. I kid you not, if you forget the best focus keywords, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. But by injecting the right keywords in your post right here, you're going to make sure you have a good chance of ranking in Google and ideally rank at the #1 spot. All right, when you scroll down, it's going to count the number of times your keyword was found. And if it doesn't, again, just click update. And I guess we just have a slow version of Yoast. All right, let's open up the focus keyword section again. And it says the exact match keyword density is 0.8%. The keyword was found 4 times, so it means it understands that our keyword's in there now. We have to get on to the next dot, which is to put the keyword in our meta description. So let's click edit snippet, and let's just create a meta description. All right. Great job. Now the meta description contains the focus keyword. The next part is just to put internal links on this page. So maybe we want to say like read more about us, and then we can highlight the about us words, click on link, and you can click on your about us page to link it up and then add link. Alright, that should do it for that bullet point. Now the SEO title is wider than the viewable limit. That just means that we have a large SEO title, which is actually down here. We just need to click on the blue link, and then you can change up what's in the SEO title, like maybe you want to get rid of the page, and that should do it. Now it's going to say the images on this page are missing alt attributes. Well, that's okay. To change that up, you can just add an image in the middle of the page. Let's go to pixabay.com and let's find a biking image. So let's look up biking. Alright, and you can grab one of the demo biking images that you might find cool or interesting or particularly useful for your post. Like maybe this really crazy cycling in the winter post, except for I can't stand bikes with wheels that are that wide when I see them on the road. I don't know why, they just look so annoying. So let's look up bike ride, and then let's scroll down and let's grab a legitimate biking post. I think this one is super cool. It's just like someone biking in the, Bavarian countryside with their backpack. So let's click free download. Let's call it biking in countryside. Save it. Now come back to our post, guys. We're going to put the image in this little space, add media, upload files, select files, grab our biking in countryside image, and insert in the post. Now we can change the alt tab to include our focus keyword, and that should do it for that bullet point. Super cool. So that'll cover this one. Now it says no outbound links appear on this page. That just means you might want to add a link to a post about bikes. You can really easily do that with a photo credit to our biking website on Pixabay. That also gives this author some credit. So we can just copy their image link and come to the post and write the author. We're just going to highlight that and then link it. Okay, and open a new tab and add link. And now we're going to update and see how we did with our list. So when we scroll down now on our Yoast SEO list, I think we're almost there. Almost there. Let's open up the focus keyword. And we can see we have so many greens now. We've accomplished all this. We just need to tackle 3 more. So it says the SEO title is wider than the viewable limit. All right, where's the SEO title? That would be this title. So let's click on it and let's get rid of our site title. We don't need that there. And now that little bullet is gone. Now we just need to do the slug for this page. It's a bit long. Consider shortening it. So the slug, by the way, guys, is just this part in your permalink. So you can easily just reduce that, and I like just putting our focus keyword in there. So best bicycle workouts is perfect. Google likes short and simple. It's easy for them to figure out what's going on, so they don't think that your post is about like best 30 minutes or best training. They know it's about best bicycle workouts. Now we've gotten all our dots. We're in really good shape, guys. We have good results, and your post honestly has a really good chance of ranking in Google. I hope it does, and I hope you let me know how it does down below in the comments. So let's go ahead and update it, and now you know how to write a Google-friendly SEO blog post. So if your blog post is going to rank well on Google and get a ton of views, it might get a ton of clicks, and if it's going to get a ton of clicks, that means you should have an advertisement on the blog post. So let's check out the post, and let's see how to put an ad here. This is something we didn't do in the free version of this tutorial, but of course, because you put in the time and effort and monetary investment to get a premium theme, you should know how to earn a little bit of money from it. So guys, we can easily go to AdSense and put in an ad on the blog. I'm just going to visit my AdSense account with you guys and give you a little tour. Alright, so here it is, nothing special. I think I was paid this much in the last month. So, just a couple $100. You have to get paid $100 to actually get paid. And I have a lot of writing and blog posts on how to actually get there. If you're interested, I'll leave you some links below in the comments. I'll leave you some links below the video. To insert an ad, you just click My Ads. And then we're gonna, okay, they always make some sort of change that usually just confuses the heck out of me. So I'm just gonna try to get to our normal ad units. Of course, Google always just gets too smart for their own good. Yeah, ads, guys, just ad units. We don't want to be smart. All right, and once you're in ad units, just basically click new ad unit. And I usually like clicking text and display ads and letting Google choose whether they want to put in text or images. Now you're gonna name your ad like WordPress website ad. And now we're just gonna choose the size. So we're gonna go with a recommended size. Although you can change it, you can do vertical banner. For example, horizontal banner. We're going to keep it on text and display, and we're just going to save and get code, although you can change up the font styles, colors, so on and so forth. Now we just need to click once in the ad code, right click, copy it, and come back to our site. So where do we put it? Well, we need to go to widgets and get rid of our sidebar and put in the ad. To do that, hover on the skinny nav where our site title is and click widgets. And this is basically where people have been controlling widgets forever in WordPress, just in the sidebar column. So we're just going to open up these different tabs and delete them. Open, delete, and you can always get them back. You're not doing any harm by deleting them. We are just cleaning up your site. We don't want your site to look like a default WordPress site. We want it to look super original. So keeping the search bar, we can now go down and click on text, and we're going to check sidebar and add widget. Now we're going to click the text tab, dismiss, and we're just going to paste in the Google ad code and save it. And now we're going to go to our blog. So we're going to open the site. We're going to click blog. And in a moment or two, we'll have a beautiful ad right here in our sidebar. It just needs to load. And if it doesn't load, it might be because you have an ad blocker. So I do, because I visit a lot of different blogs and I don't want to see all their ads. So we can click on our ad blocker and click don't run on pages on this site. All right, and exclude. And in a moment or two, I'm confident our ad will show up. While we wait for our ad to show up, we can put a Facebook like box in our sidebar so that your audience can like your site without even leaving it. To do so, come back to widgets by hovering on the skinny nav and clicking widgets. And leave your site open in widgets. Now open a new tab in Google and look up Facebook page plugin. The page plugin is basically the like box for websites, and just click on page plugin. Now all you need to do is go ahead and type in your Facebook URL right here. It already remembered mine. Change up the basic settings if you like, although the default looks really good a lot of the time, and click get code. Alright, now we're going to click on step 3 and copy it and come back to our site. And in widgets, we just need another text widget. Click text, sidebar, add widget, click text and paste. And by the way, you can put this in a blog post or a page if you use the text tab as well. And save it. All right, now to get our Facebook page working, we need to actually copy step 2. So copy it, come back to our site and go to plugins, add new, just look for insert headers and footers. Very cool. And now install this plugin by WP Beginner. Great folks over there, super cool guys. And we're going to click install now and activate. Okay folks, now we're just going to go and hover on settings and click insert headers and footers. And we can pop in this code in the scripts in header. Paste it in there and save it. And that's again from the step 2 of the Facebook page plugin. Now when we refresh our blog, we should see that Facebook like box in the sidebar down here, and the ad is still waiting to appear above it. Okay guys, so no blog is complete unless it's ranking in Google, and to really rank your blog in Google, now that you have a perfect blog post written for Google SEO friendliness, is to actually index your website in Google. Now, there's 3 steps to actually index your site in Google and get Google to notice you. And we're going to cover all 3 of those right here. This is usually how I like to end my videos because it sets you up with a good site They can get organic traffic, and basically that means since you've already made your site, Google will recognize that it's a good website. It'll start sending you traffic. You can interact with the traffic, and my work is done. You don't need me anymore. So to get your website indexed in Google, it's like I said, it's a 3-step process. The first step is to visit Google Webmaster Central and hit enter and go to the google.com/webmasters page. Okay, so once you're on the Google Webmasters page, just sign in. And then this is the new Google Webmasters. All right, I'm used to using the old one, but we can definitely figure out the new one because it's obviously bigger and better. What you want to do is click on this drop down in the upper left and click add a property. And now we're going to copy and paste your domain name. So don't copy and paste the /blog, just copy and paste your basic domain name like this with the .com. All right, so we're going to do wherelovewaslost.com. We're going to paste that in for add property. Just paste and continue. And Google's like, okay, that's a domain name, but we need to verify it because we're not sure it's a legit domain name. And now they're like, okay, you're kind of legit, but we still need you to do this big step right here to verify it. What we want you to do, says Google, is to verify your ownership. And to do that, they want you to download this file, upload to your domain name, and then click verify. But that's a little bit complicated. And I would much rather have you do the Google Analytics method because that way you actually get Google Analytics too. So follow me in a new browser tab to Google Analytics, hit enter, and sign into Analytics. And we're basically going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Okay, so once you're on the Google Analytics page, you can probably see how many visitors I get on this one site that I'm not really tracking, but you can't track them all when you have a lot of sites, you just can't do it. All right, that looks a little better. So what you want to do on Google Analytics, instead of looking at my blog stats, which are in a major recession because I never write blog posts, I'm super sorry everyone, is just to click on the admin tab if you're on this screen. And if you're not on that screen, maybe it'll take you to the admin tab automatically if you're creating a new property. Either way, you want to get to the part where you can create a new account. Then just give your account a name, like Where Love Was Lost. No better name than your domain name. And give your website name there too. Starting to think that name is pretty weird. I'm starting to have to make a little more sense of it in my head here, but I thought it was great at first, and I think it still makes sense. Someday it could be a famous Disney movie or something like that. Another WordPress site, Disney. And we're going to choose industry category of just beauty and fitness. Keep the rest of the stuff the same. Just make sure you get rid of that HTTP in your domain name, so you use the Google Analytics HTTP. Scroll down and click Get Tracking ID. Okay, just click Accept, and lastly, 3 accepts. And now it's going to give you your own tracking ID if it works. If it did work, just click once in the Google site tags and copy. All right, and now come back to our site, and you're going to want to go to the dashboard. So you don't want to be on the visual builder. You just want to be on your normal dashboard. Hover on settings and click Insert Headers and Footers. And now because we have this beautiful scripts and header section, we can make spaces and put in the Google Analytics code as well up here. Okay, so make sure it's separated from your Facebook code and save it. All right, guys, so now we have Google Analytics inserted on your website. So it's going to start tracking your user data, like clicks, views, page views, conversions, all that stuff that you want to track. And we can go back to our Webmaster Search Console here, and we can go ahead and verify our site using the Google Analytics method. All right, so click to open Google Analytics and click Verify. Google's going to run all their complex tests, and they're going to do a really tough job on you, be really tough on you. And if you did it right, it'll say ownership verified, you got past Google, beautiful. Now let's click Go to Property, and your site is officially set up in the Google Search Console. So we've done one step, which is add our site to Google Search Console. We've done the second step, which is to set up Google Analytics. And the third step is really easy. You just need to literally submit your site to Google. So you're going to Google, literally submit my site to Google, in Google, super meta. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click on this link that says submit URL. Might not be the first one, all right? It's going to be the one that just says submit URL Google. It's literally just one bar, and they got rid of it. How could they do that to us? Well, guys, in the old videos, there was just a little copy and paste bar here where we could submit our URL to Google, but now we need to submit a sitemap. So let's do that. Submit a sitemap, and it wants us to do it using the Search Console Sitemaps tool. So I'm assuming we can do that. We can just go back to our site, and we can click on SEO, and we can click on features, and scroll down to where it says XML sitemaps. Click on the question mark, and then click see the XML sitemap. So this is your sitemap link right here, which is wherelovewaslost.com/sitemap _index.xml. We're just going to copy that, and we're going to go back to our Search Console. Pardon me if this is getting a little bit over our heads because it's getting a little bit over mine. We're going to click Sitemaps. Now we're going to paste in this link, but of course you don't need your domain name. You just need the part after the /, and click Submit and hope it works. Google's running their tests, and it was successful. So beautiful. We have nothing to worry about. Hoorah, cha-ching, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. 3 steps to submit your site to Google Analytics. 3 steps to get your website to rank in Google are now complete, and we're going to click Got It. Great job. Alright guys, so one potential problem we might face, and it's all my fault because I made these sections global, is that if you update like your Contact Us hero image and then it changes on the About Us hero image, that's probably because we set them as global sections, but we really don't want them to be because we want them to be unique. Global sections are great if you want like this one bar or this one image to be the same on every single page where the content around it is different and the one little module or section remains the same. But in this case, we have to turn off global because we just like erased our content on one page and replaced it with the content on the other page. So what we need to do is go to Enable Visual Builder and turn off global. That's the most important thing right now, and then fortunately we can just, recreate the pages pretty easily. So hover up at the top on the green section. It's green for global. Right click and disable global. And now save the whole page. And we can see it became blue again because it's its own section, just how we want. While we're on our About Us page, we can learn how to create our anchor links so that when someone clicks our mission, they'll go right down the page. And then we can make this on the Contact Us page too, and then we'll just make sure all of our buttons are linked up. So to set up an anchor link, you just need to first click on the button itself, which is the target. We're going to click on Module Settings, and we're going to give the link a button link URL. So we don't need to make a real URL. We can just make a hashtag and just call this something like About Anchor. Something descriptive that you won't repeat on another place on the site. And then save it. And now we just need to go down to where the button should land us, which is our destination. So we set the target, now we have to set the destination. So we can just do that in this section where we have the bars and the New York City picture with the boys. We can just click on Section Settings. Now let's hit Advanced and let's click CSS ID and Classes and give it the CSS ID that we just created before, but without the hashtag. So About Anchor. And save it. And let's see if it worked. Let's save the whole thing through the purple button. And let's open our site in a new tab. Alright, not sure why it always wants us to log in, but I guess that's the most popular page. And we're going to click About Us, and we're going to try our anchor button. Click the button, and it worked. Awesome. So WordPress might make anchor tags and anchor buttons seem super confusing. They have a way of doing that, although we of course love WordPress, but it's really that easy when you use a premium theme like Divi. Okay, so we can set up that same anchor link in our contact page now. Let's just click to our contact page. All right, and we don't have a button, so we don't get an anchor link. That's pretty cool. let's go back to our home page and let's set it up there instead. So where it says learn more, we have enable visual builder. Click on that. All right, and now let's hover on our button, click the button settings. So once again, link, button link URL, give it a hashtag and like home anchor. I always like creating the anchor IDs. It's kind of fun, you know, home anchor. So fun to click. All right, goofiness aside, we have home anchor, save it. Now let's go to where we want it to go. So you could of course pick like any section. You could have the button take you all the way down here or further down. You can also create pages that are like infinitely long scroll, super big pages with Divi. There's really no limit to the amount of, you know, modules you put in. But we just have like 4 or 5. So let's put it on your brand features because it'll take the page like right to the top of the section and we want them to have a heading. So click on the settings, advanced, CSS ID and classes, and pop in the home anchor and save it. Click the Pro button and save it. All right, so you now know how to create an anchor link in WordPress. Now that our anchor links are working, we might as well get all of our buttons working. So I think we had a couple more down here that are just ghost buttons, don't really go anywhere. So just click on our settings, link, and now it helps to open the site in a new tab. And it knows that it should go to our home page and not our login page. Pretty cool. So we just need to get the link to somewhere else. So Discover More should go to our About Us page. All right, copy the About link right from your browser, paste it in. You can also make this open in a new tab if you want someone to go to a new browser tab, but because we're on the same site, same window is good, and save it. Now the Sign Up Here one would obviously be the Contact Us page. You can also just right click on top of a link and copy a link address. If you're lazy like me, click link, button link URL, and paste, and save. Great job, guys. Okay, so let's save the page. And now let's go search for any more ghost links. All right, let's click on our About Us page, see if there's any there. We just have our anchor link working. No more ghost links. What about on the contact page? Scroll down, no ghost links here. And the blog page. Pretty sure these links are working because they just go to the blog post. And interestingly enough, you now have a beautiful ad in your sidebar, which should know a little bit about where you like shopping. In my case, that's the Salvation Army. Excellent store. I definitely have gotten some cool shirts there. And that's how it works. Yeah, we have a great ad. We have the links working. So we're in pretty good shape, guys. Alright guys, so it's super sad for me to say that we have finally reached the end of our tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. Please email me the link to your new websites and I'll put them up on our website showcase. Please also click the Show More button beneath the video for all sorts of important information and goodies that you might have missed, that you might enjoy. If you learned something here, please make sure to hit the like button, and most importantly guys, please engage and drop me a comment or help someone else who might be struggling with a WordPress task you just solved. Whether you want to make a website that's small or make a website that's huge or even start your own YouTube channel or something like that, it all starts with taking that simple step of just engaging, getting out of your comfort zone and interacting and connecting with people. So I'm so happy to connect with you here. Even though it's the end, there's more videos coming. We're going to cover e-commerce, mobile development, just to name a few. And I hope to show you that when you make a website and do it yourself, that it's never really over. This is actually just the beginning. All right, I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks again. I'm Greg Narayan. Thanks for watching.